on Chicago's south side. Police say an SUV hit that child last night, backing into a parking space on South Racine. The boy driving the vehicle took off, but was later spotted near 64th and Bishop. He then was cited for not having a license or insurance and failing to report an accident involving injury. Former Cook County State's Attorney Bernard Carey, a Republican elected in the wake of a Chicago police scandal in a raid that killed 2 Black Panther Party members in 1969, is dead at the age of 83. His wife, Mary, said Carey died of stomach cancer at his home in Naples, Florida. Former FBI agent, Carey became state's attorney in 1972 when he defeated then State's Attorney Edward Hanrahan. It was Hanrahan who ordered that raid that resulted in the death of Black Panther leader Fred Hampton. Carey defeated a judge backed by then-Mayor Richard J. Daley to win re-election in 1976. He lost to state senator and future mayor Senator Richard M. Daley in 1980. Carey was also a driving force in Operation Greylord, the investigation into judicial corruption in Cook County. Illinois senior senator finally has something he agrees with the president on. Rod Blagojevich. Senator Dick Durbin yesterday saying he agrees with President Trump. The former Illinois governor should not be in prison anymore. Durbin said Blagojevich's 14-year sentence was too harsh. Chicago sports, Cubs and Phillies open up a 3-game series at Wrigley Field tonight. Must be a blue moon tonight because the White Sox begin a 4-game series with the Twins with a rare twilight doubleheader at Target Field. First game at 3, second game at 7 tonight. White Sox went with Oregon State shortstop Nick Madrigal with the number 4 pick in the 2018 MLB draft. You can see him play in the College World Series this weekend. He's a good one. Cubs have 4 new members in their organization, also selecting a shortstop and a good one, Nico Horner, at number 24 in the first round. The News is a service of Comcast Business. Small business internet providers promise you a lot. Comcast Business offers fast gig speeds across their network. AT&T doesn't. They offer a more complete reliability with up to 8 hours of 4G wireless network backup. AT&T doesn't. Comcast Business gives you more. Comcast Business, built for business. 5:08, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
On AM 560, The Answer. Your opinion counts. And we want to know how you feel about the news stories we're talking about each and every day. Make sure to vote in the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll at 560theanswer.com. Listen for today's poll question at 10:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 3:30 p.m. and hear the results each evening at 5:30. It's the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll on 560theanswer.com.
Ike was such a sweet, lovable animal, and people would want to pet him, and they'd come up, and they'd get close to him, and it would be this instant, oh! My dad didn't want to touch him. It's like, ooh, get the stinky dog away from me.
Even after we'd give her a bath, she would still stink.
Very stinky, both bad breath and bad gas.
I asked the vet, and he said some dogs are just stinky.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dinovite for help.
DINOVITE.com.
The omega-3 fatty acids.
Flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa.
The digestive enzymes that are cooked out of regular dog food.
The ingredients convinced me that it was definitely worth trying. After about a week, he started smelling normal. My husband and I were really kind of astonished.
Dinovite is nutrition.
859-428-1000.
DINOVITE.com.
For years, you've heard of St. John's Northwestern Military Academy, serving young men with an outstanding education and preparation for life. Now that same experience is available for your daughter. With summer vacation right around the corner, now is a great time to register your son or daughter for summer camp at St. John's Northwestern Military Academy in the beautiful region of southeast Wisconsin. It's a time to refocus from the distractions of life and explore the potentials in many areas of life. There's Camp St. John's Northwestern with 4 one-week sessions of outdoor activities for 10 to 16-year-olds. and summer school for 5 weeks to recover credits or get ahead for full credit. Limited registration for co-ed summer camp is happening now, as well as the year-round school application process. Hurry, space is limited. For more information, call 1-800-SJ-CADET. That's 1-800-SJ-CADET, or visit their website, sjnma.org. That's sjnma.org.
5:10. Let's get an update on the roads this morning in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. In for Jim Talamonte, here's Al Verdi. Good morning, Al.
Good morning, Mike. On the Reagan, westbound at Yackley, we had an accident, but that's just cleared and all lanes are open, so good thing there. Lakeshore Drive, northbound from 47th to Oakwood, is closed for pedestrian bridge construction, but just till 6 this morning. And southbound, it's closed also from Oakwood to 47th. On the south side, southbound Lafayette from 87th to 91st, that's closed for the 87th Street Family Carnival, and that closure goes until next Monday at 9 a.m. Traffic's a service of Discover Student Loans. Figuring out how to cover college costs, Discover Student Loans is one of the top private student loan lenders in the country with great rates, zero fees, plus students can earn a cash reward for their good grades. Visit discoverstudentloans.com to apply today. Limitations apply. Traffic answers when you need the most. I'm Al Verdi on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answers starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Breezy today with a passing morning shower or two, then clouds give way to some sun, high 65. Clear night, low 51. Sun and clouds tomorrow, high 78. Then partly cloudy with a late night shower tomorrow night, low 64. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560. The Answer.
70 right now at O'Hare, 70 along the lakefront, 69 at Midway, 64 this morning in Aurora. Your next news update is at 5:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Illinois Rising, hosted by Dan Proft and the Illinois Opportunity Project. Sunday afternoons at 3 on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Well, yesterday, big Supreme Court decision in the Masterpiece Cake Shop case out of Denver, Colorado. A victory, but a small victory for religious liberty. A very narrow decision that focused on the conduct of the Colorado Civil Rights Commission in the case of Jack Phillips and Masterpiece Cake Shop in Denver. The Supreme Court, in a 7-2 decision, said that the state government, the Colorado Civil Rights Commission, was, quote, neither tolerant nor respectful, unquote, towards Jack Phillips's Christian view on marriage. The court said the commission showed, quote, clear and impermissible hostility toward the sincere religious beliefs motivating his objection to making a cake for a same-sex wedding. So it was the Supreme Court pushing back against the Colorado Civil Rights Commission's anti-Christian bigotry, but it also limited itself to the ruling on the conduct of the Colorado Civil Rights Commission. So they decided against setting a precedent in this case, which is why it's a small victory. It's an important victory for Jack Phillips, of course,
Well, yeah.
but in terms of religious freedom, it's a small victory, leaving precedential holding for potentially another case.
Right, because what if you're a photographer or a makeup artist or a hairstylist and you don't want to perform or do your works for a same-sex couple? Are they free and clear now to do what they want?
Well,
or is there possible litigation?
There's always the possibility of litigation, but what the Supreme Court did not do is recognize a First Amendment right to religious liberty for persons similarly situated to Jack Phillips, and that's, of course, what conservatives and constitutionalists, strict constructionists at least, wanted. They simply said the Colorado Civil Rights Commission went too far. That conduct, not the inherent right embedded in the First Amendment. So that's a big difference. But this piece that was posted by Jack Phillips in USA Today. It's op-ed after the Supreme Court's holding. It tells you the story of not just his case, but where religious liberty stands, and so the importance of this discussion. Just again to recall, Jack Phillips sets out that he is a cake artist who owns his own shop. I've always been willing to serve everyone who walks through my doors, but that doesn't mean that I create every cake requested of me. If asked to design a cake that celebrates an event or expresses a message in conflict with my faith, I'm obliged as a matter of conscience to decline. But I still offer those customers anything else in my shop and tell them I'd gladly create them a cake for a different occasion. And oh, by the way, just so we're clear, that's exactly what he did in this case. This was a setup from the beginning. He said that he would, to these two guys that came in that wanted to make a wedding cake, he said, look, I'll do anything else you want, but I can't do that. I'll make you birthday cakes, shower cakes, sell you cookies and brownies. I just don't make cakes for same-sex weddings. So this 30-second back and forth between the complainants initially to the Colorado Civil Rights Commission and Jack Phillips was not confrontational. It was not him expressing any bigotry. It was him explaining his conscience on the issue, but otherwise being happy to serve them in another capacity.
Right.
So just so we're clear about that.
But they're still, saying that their victims are discriminated against. Here is Mullins Craig.
We hope that people now know that our case wasn't some isolated incident, that this happens to people in every kind of business every day.
Is it really happening every day?
Well, here's the thing that he doesn't understand, that disagreement is not discrimination. Disagreement is not necessarily
so true.
Discrimination, and this is what the left can't wrap their head around, that if I want something, then I have the right to impose my will on you to provide it. And so my desires don't stop at the tip of your nose when it comes to pushing you around in contravention of your religious belief to do my bidding. Here's just more from Jack Phillips so you understand what he went through the past 6 years. It took 6 years to wind its way to the Supreme Court. Wow. He says, I was shocked at how many people dismiss my decision as making much ado about nothing. Just make the cake. Right?
Yeah.
Just make the cake. Yet folks fail to understand.
Shut up and bake, I think I heard somebody say.
Yeah, okay. Yet those folks fail to understand that as an artist, I pour my heart into my wedding cakes and that my conscience will not allow me to celebrate something in direct conflict with my faith. Right, of course. We don't have any respect, or some don't have any respect for what Jack Phillips says. You have to adopt my view of what you do. And you have to provide specific performance for what I say you do. This is a private transaction. People don't have to share my beliefs to support my freedom, writes Jack Phillips. They just need to agree that the decision should be mine to make, not the government's to make for me. What he's endured. After the government forced me to stop designing wedding cakes, I lost 40% of my business.
Oh.
Since then, I've been worried I've had to close my shop, that the revenue left won't be enough to make ends meet. I've been greatly distressed by the death threats hurled at me. Few things approach the horror of hearing another vow to take your life. And then there's this, just so you understand how significant the infringement is. The government ordered me not only to stop doing the wedding work I love, but also to teach my remaining employees, all of whom are my family members, that I was wrong to operate my shop consistent with my faith. In other words, the state told me to tell my mother that the faith she taught me has no business influencing my life. Think about it that way. The state in Colorado ordered me to teach my remaining employees who are family members I was wrong to operate my shop consistent with my faith. To tell my mother, in effect, that the faith she taught me has no business influencing my life. You want to talk about bigotry? You want to talk about freedom, equality under the law, respect, tolerance, all of those catchwords the left loves to throw around? to cower the sissified individuals on the right who know better but won't stand up in face of this kind of onslaught? Think about that. Ordering you to tell your family members that your faith is wrong and that the faith tradition you inherited from your ancestors is wrong at the hands of the state. You want to talk about the imposition of a state religion? It's the imposition of the expungement of religion at the hands of the state. Ed in Oak Brook, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
You know what? I would have made the cake, but anyway, my point is that this was
you're free to make the cake. That's the point. You're free to make the cake, and he's free not to. That's the point.
That is the point. But what is huge about this particular case, it's going to wake up a lot of people that are sitting on the fence and almost buying the crap that's put out by the liberal media. We need a president in there that's going to put on responsible, educated, logical people on that Supreme Court, not the ideologues that you always say that a Democrat has always put on that Supreme Court. That's why this case was huge.
Yeah,
so
thanks,
have a nice day.
Thanks for the call, Ed. Well, right, and it's a 7-2 decision. It wasn't a close call.
I know. Weren't you surprised?
No.
When you saw the rundown of who voted for who? I thought it was going to be 5-4.
Yeah, I mean,
decision.
not because of how narrow the decision was. I'm not surprised. But, I mean, in terms of the Colorado Civil Rights Commission overreaching, Jack Phillips puts it in layman's terms very nicely in his op-ed. But this was not a close case, but it shows you how close we are to real elimination of people's religious freedom. And this case, again, was great for Jack Phillips, but it's still an open question what it means for religious liberty in America.
Up of information to start your day. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up, move over, Harry and Meghan. We have a new romantic couple on the scene. But first, here's your forecast. Showers are 2 right now this morning. The showers are hitting the Chicago area and the northwest suburbs right now. Otherwise, it'll be breezy and cooler with clouds and a little bit of sunshine, a high of 65 degrees. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. I hear Al Verde is in for Jim Talamonte.
How about that, Jazz?
Yeah, it's an awesome day. Good morning, Al.
Good morning, Amy. Hi, Dan. All right, in Woodstock, 14 east and westbound between Kishwaukee Valley and Dean is closed for bridge construction, just till 6 this morning. Likewise, we have a couple of closures. Lakeshore Drive northbound from 47th to Oakwood closed just till 6, and southbound from Oakwood to 47th also closed till 6 this morning. Edens, we got no delays at all. Kennedy is wide open. Eisenhower, 29 either way between Thorndale and the post office. Stevenson looks good. Dan Ryan inbound from 18th to the Byrne interchange. A little bit of a slowdown, but just 17 minutes in from 95th to downtown. 57's moving well. Bishop Ford inbound touches the brakes from 115th to the Ryan, about 23 in between 80 and 94 in the Ryan. No delays on Route 390 toll. Tri-State, Adams, Reagan, Veterans Memorial all look good. All the Indiana tolls look good as well. I'm Al Verde in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
The rapid evolution of technology and industrial robotic automation systems offers a multitude of solutions that give manufacturers a competitive advantage. From ergonomics, quality control, and the need to meet increased production goals while improving the lives of everybody on the factory floor, industrial robotic automation can mean increased profitability and higher quality jobs. Matrix Industrial Automation has built a reputation as an industry leader in developing, building, and installing a wide range of turnkey robotic automation systems. Manufacturers big and small, local and worldwide, depend on Matrix to deliver the most optimal and robust industrial automation systems with improved ROI in mind. Nearly 2 decades of experience and hundreds of installed systems is why Matrix Industrial Automation, headquartered in Bartlett, Illinois, are the industrial automation experts. For more information or to schedule a free automation consultation, visit matrixindustrialautomation.com or call 847-841-8260. That's matrixindustrialautomation.com.
Nowadays, there's an app for everything, and here's one that's a must-have if you golf. It's the Bolingbrook Golf Club mobile app, and it'll enhance your golf experience. You can book tee times at Bolingbrook Golf Club. There's an interactive scorecard, golf games, a GPS, latest news from the club, even a food and beverage menu, Facebook sharing, and more. Just about everything you need for your golf game besides the clubs is in the palm of your hand with the new Bolingbrook Golf Club mobile app. Go to BolingbrookGolfClub.com/contact/download our app. BolingbrookGolfClub.com/contact/download our app and download today.
Are you ready to take your golf game to the elite level? The Bolingbrook Elite Athlete Training Program, or BEAT, is the highest level of training designed to maximize potential and develop highly skilled players. You'll learn from the Bolingbrook Golf Club's world-class instructors. They've designed practice schedules and content to maximize player development. For the athlete that aspires to compete and train at the highest levels, check out BEAT, Bolingbrook Elite Athlete Training. More info at BolingbrookGolfClub.com.
Hey, looking to secure financing on a new home? Then you need to call the most honest and knowledgeable lender I know, Team Hochberg. Abby, millennial, purchasing a home, so her father recommended she call Team Hochberg to get approval before speaking with a realtor. Instead, Amy consulted her friends who've never purchased a home and applied for a mortgage online. Abby called her dad frustrated because the online lender wasn't responding to her emails. Abby's father told her to stop messing around and call Team Hochberg, the only lender he trusted to help his little girl. Team Hochberg approved Abby to purchase a home before speaking with a realtor, and Team Hochberg's real estate experts found Abby the perfect home. The internet's great for purchasing socks, shoes, and underpants, but not mortgages. If you're purchasing a home, call Team Hochberg right now, 312-751-1333, or visit am560david.com. Team Hochberg has helped me and thousands of AM560 listeners, but they can't help you if you don't call. 312-751-1333. For straightforward, honest advice, do what I did. Call Team Hochberg, 312-751-1333, or visit am560david.com. Pro Mortgage, equal housing lender, Illinois residential mortgage licensee, 4358, NMLS 19186.
Hey, we know replacing your roof is a big deal and a big decision. This is Mark Olson.
And Greg Olson, the boys from Crumweedy. If your roof is needy,
call Crumweedy. We would love to do your roof. Why choose Crumweedy to do your roof or roof repairs?
It's all about installation. Our guys are pros. When we install your roof, you'll get the Crumweedy promise of installation that's up to manufacturer specifications. So your warranty is intact. You'll be happy.
Cost. We give you a good, better, best option. You choose. No high pressure.
We're here. We're a third-generation family business that was built on the same conservative values as you.
We do business the right way. We have a special offer that includes free gutters with a new roof. Ask about it. When your roof is needy,
call Crumweedy. 630-595-8020. 630-595-8020.
Get all the info at myroofisneedy.com. myroofisneedy.com.
Dan Proft here, and I'm joined by Ryan Kelly, the home loan expert, homeloanexpert.com. And everybody knows the housing market is en fuego. That means hot. But how do you take advantage of it? That's why we have an expert here. His name's Ryan Kelly, as I just mentioned, and he's going to tell us. Ryan?
Well, I appreciate it. Let me jump on, Dan, and you're exactly right. The housing market is hot, and homes are selling fast. You know, if you're thinking about selling your house, that's great. Just put a for sale sign in the yard, make up a price, and it should go fairly quick. If you're thinking about buying a home, it's never been more important to make sure you're working with a strong mortgage lender. Believe me when I tell you, you are not the only person watching those same streets, those same neighborhoods, the same school districts, waiting for the house to come on the market. There's a lot of people out there waiting for that same house. So make sure you're prepared. Get pre-approved today at thehomeloanexpert.com. That's thehomeloanexpert.com. Thanks, Dan. The Home Loan Expert, LLC, Tennessee Residential Mortgage Licensee.
AM 560, The Answer.
I can't stop watching this shot. Yesterday, we had our semifinals for our boys and 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th boys volleyball teams. And Andrew had a header shot. I'm going to put it on Twitter. You've got to see it.
A header?
Well, he didn't know the
volleyball,
ball.
not soccer.
I know, but he was just standing there, and he lost track of where the ball was, and it hit his head, went over the net, and they scored a point. It's awesome.
That
really cool.
sounds like it could be that may make Sports Center.
I know. I have to enlarge. I need the guys here, the young kids here, to help me.
Sure.
Lighten it up and edit.
Facile with the interweb and all that.
But yesterday the referee did something. I just wanted to mention this real quick. Something I've never seen before in all the years of coaching, which has been 4 years, but 12 different teams.
All 4 years? You've never seen this?
This ref, the other team had 4 coaches, which was ridiculous. And one was on the other side of the gym. He's like, no, get in here. You can't coach from the other side. Everybody's on the bench.
It was a pincer movement, a coaching pincer
honestly, there was
movement.
one, in the back court, left, back, right, and he's, bring it in. But the coach on the other team said, yo, I need a timeout. And the ref put the ball down, and he's like, you never address me ever. Yo, it is sir or Mr. or ref. And the kids were shocked, and I just thought, okay. It's true, because if we start, it's the coarsening of our language when people approach adults and say, yo, I need a timeout. What is that?
What about zebra? Will he accept zebra?
Volleyball officials are very, very, very strict.
Oh, yeah. You roll the ball under the net. There's etiquette.
It's insane how strict they are,
Yeah.
how you approach the net, how you even see it in the Olympics and in the professional leagues. They're very, very, you're very cautious around officials.
And if you mess up, they'll give you a side out. They don't care.
They'll take away points. They're serious about
Quick trigger in volleyball. Huh?
Oh, my goodness, yes.
I've never seen anything like it. It was intense. But both 5th and 6th and 7th and 8th are advancing to the finals today. It's at the Halstead Center at 3656 North Halstead.
You better get there early.
Sell those tickets.
No, at 3:45 is the 5th and 6th, and then at 4:15 is the 7th and 8th.
Hold on, let me get the 3:45.
Can you put that in your calendar? And then 7th and 8th is at 4:15. My team plays Disney, and the 7th and 8th graders play Lincoln. That's going to be a really
3:45 and 4:15. The games are like 20 minutes.
No, it'll probably. Sometimes they last. Sometimes a game could last 7 minutes. Sometimes you'll have a game where a player will never touch the ball because it's boom, 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 boom. Yep. Okay.
All right. There's your Chicago grade school volleyball update.
Winner, chicken
Get everything
dinner.
here on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, the Eagles are grounded. We'll tell you why. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
66 degrees. One man is dead. 2 others hospitalized this morning. They were shot on Chicago's west side. Authorities say the victims this morning were standing in an empty lot near 5th and Pulaski when 4 approached and opened fire. Chicago police tell us no arrests have been made. Prosecutors in the Russia probe say former Trump campaign manager Paul Manafort apparently tried to tamper with possible witnesses in the criminal case against him. Court filing claims Manafort called, texted, even sent encrypted messages to 2 and tried to influence their testimony. President Trump pulling the welcome mat out from underneath the Philadelphia Eagles. In a statement, the president said the full team is unable to come to the White House as planned. He says because they disagree with his belief in standing for the national anthem. Meantime, White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders says there has been no official change in policy toward North Korea.
We have sanctions on. They're very powerful, and we would not take those sanctions off unless North Korea denuclearized.
That seems to contradict something the president said last week. The president stressing he does not want to use the term maximum pressure on North Korea anymore. The Supreme Court rules in favor of a Colorado bake shop who refused to add a message to a wedding cake for a gay couple. Kristen Wagner with the Alliance for Defending Freedom represented Jack Phillips before the Supreme Court, says the justices made the right call.
This process was openly hostile to Jack because of his religious viewpoint, and that in and of itself was enough to render it unconstitutional under the Free Exercise Clause.
In a 7-2 ruling, the Supreme Court determined the process in which the commission made their decision against the baker was biased and unfair. The man many consider to be behind Starbucks' success is moving on. Employees were notified by company memo that Howard Schultz will step down as executive chairman of Starbucks at the end of this month. Chicago Fire Department mourning the loss of another firefighter. Firefighter Brian Schofield was among 2 killed Sunday night in a fiery wrong-way crash on I-57 near Country Club Hills. The off-duty firefighter and another driver were pronounced dead at the scene. A 5-year-old boy remains in critical condition following a shooting in Fort Heights. The boy taken to Comer Children's Hospital. The incident remains under investigation. A Chicago suburb has rescinded a resolution that made English its official language. Carpentersville's then trustees said back in 2007 the measure was intended to encourage assimilation and discourage illegal immigration. Current village officials say the resolution only caused controversy. The NFL and San Francisco 49ers mourning the loss of one of their all-time greats, Dwight Clark. His wife Kelly posting that Clark has died following a short battle with ALS. He was 61. Clark best known for the catch when he made a leaping TD grab that won the NFC Championship game for the 49ers over the Cowboys in 1982 and started a string of San Francisco's success. Clark won 2 Super Bowl titles with the Niners over his 9-year career. Cubs and Phillies open up a 3-game series at Wrigley tonight. Sox have a twilight doubleheader at Target Field, setting off a 4-game series with the Twins. The news service of Discover Student Loans, figuring out how to cover college costs. Discover Student Loans, one of the top private student loan lenders in the country with great rates, 0 fees, plus students can earn a cash reward for their good grades. Visit discoverstudentloans.com to apply today. Limitations apply. 5:36 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher always asks the tough questions.
The President of the United States says, I'm demanding an investigation into whether or not the highest levels of justice ordered a surveillance of my campaign. If you believe in transparency, what would you care if there's an investigation? Why would you be intimidated by the president wanting to get to the bottom of it?
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Pursue your passion with a degree from Aurora University Online. Choose fully online programs in business, computer science, and more. To learn more, visit online.aurora.edu.
Trust, trust, trust. Yes, I said trust 3 times because I want to tell you about a recent AM 560 charity benefactor and company that built their business and reputation over 3 decades by being trustworthy. I'm talking about Dependable Construction and founder Joe Barron. Tuck pointing, brick, and roofing is Joe's specialty. Joe started as a laborer, then progressed to an expert tuck pointer and bricklayer. In addition to masonry and roofing, Dependable Construction has grown to become a full-service Angie's List and Better Business Bureau award-winning contractor. For brick, masonry, and roofing on residential, commercial, or industrial projects to any remodeling or construction, you'll deal directly with owner Joe Barron. So call Joe at Dependable Construction today. Mention AM 560 and receive a 10% discount on most jobs. Call 773-244-1091. That's 773-244-1091 or visit tuckpointchicago.net. tuckpointchicago.net.
5:38. Let's get a check on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. In for Jim, here's Al.
Thanks, Mike. Right now on 8094, eastbound is jammed up a bit between Chase and Grant because of an accident, so expect to spend a couple extra minutes in the area. The Edens, we've got no delays at all. Kennedy's moving well both directions. Eisenhower inbound, it's 32 minutes from 390 to the post office. Outbound is fine. Stevenson in is building 46 from 355 to Lakeshore Drive, just 37 back out. Dan Ryan inbound, a 23-minute ride in. It slows from the Stevenson to the Byrne interchange. No delays to get down to 95th. Bishop Ford inbound tight from 130th to the Ryan. Traffic's a service of LifeLock. LifeLock Identity Theft Protection has added Norton Security to help protect you against cyber criminals. Protection for your identity and devices. Go to LifeLock.com, enter promo code RISK for an extra 10% off. The low starting price is $7.99 a month. Terms apply. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Al Verdi on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center, a morning shower or 2 otherwise. Breezy and cooler. Clouds will break late in the day. High near 65, clear and 51 overnight, currently 66. Next news at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Money Hour radio show, Saturday afternoons at 3 on AM 560, The Answer. Brought to you by Pearshell Financial Group.
When you've got questions, he always has an answer. It's Sean Hannity this afternoon at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, you don't stand for the anthem. You're not coming to the White House, even if you win a Super Bowl. That's the message that was delivered by President Trump to the Philadelphia Eagles organization. And, of course, getting what you would expect the response to be from the left. But
well, he tweeted yesterday, about 8 hours ago, the Philadelphia Eagles football team was invited to the White House. Unfortunately, only a small number of players decided to come, and we canceled the event. Staying in the locker room for the playing of our national anthem is as disrespectful to our country as kneeling. Sorry! !
Yeah, that's the statement from the press secretary's office from the president. They're unable to come with their full team to be celebrated tomorrow, meaning today. They disagree with their president because he insists that they proudly stand for the national anthem, hand on heart, in honor of the great men and women of our military and the people of our country.
But here's the sticky wicket on this. Not once during the entire season did any Philadelphia Eagles player take a knee. One player raised his... No, he didn't. I'm telling you, one player did raise a fist like this up high, and that's it. That's why people were confused. But CNN was reporting that only 10 to 15 players were confirmed. And adding fuel to the fire is the mayor of Philadelphia, Jim Kenney, who was on CNN, did a little phoner.
There's no one more disrespectful to this country than the President of the United States, which is a sad thing to say, but it's true. The guy talks about he avoided the draft 5 times in Vietnam. If he wanted to be patriotic, he could have been patriotic back then, as opposed to this sham of an issue relative to the national anthem.
312-642-5600 is our Turnkey.pro answer line. 64636. Type in DA. Then a quick comment.
Well, a point of order, the sham of an issue with the national anthem, didn't the NFL just change the rule on it?
Yeah.
So the NFL owners all agree to a rule change. So is it a sham? Is this just all President Trump's doing? Or did the NFL change the rule with respect to respecting the anthem in response to market feedback from their fans? Mayor?
Hello.
Where'd you go, Mayor?
Hello. But I mean, there is a crowd size element to the story, considering there's only 10 to 15 players. But if those 10 to 15 players wanted to go, I mean, if I was one of those players who wanted to go, I'd be disappointed this morning.
I hate to break it to the Eagles, but you have no right to go to the White House to be feted because you won the Super Bowl. That is not in the Constitution.
No, that's true. I mean, is President Trump in the right or the wrong here? 312-642-5600.
The whole kind of photo op of bringing the championship teams from all the sports to the White House.
All of them, from NCAA. I mean, every sport you can think of.
I guess, what started out as a nice thing, like everything is ruined by politics. And, I don't care. Everybody, then now in this day and age, and this, by the way, happened during President Obama's term, too. There were players on championship teams that didn't want to go to the White House.
And Jake Arrieta didn't go.
There you go.
When
That's
President
a good
Obama,
example.
crammed that through so that Michelle could see her heroes.
Yeah, is Jake Arrieta, is he a traitor to our nation because he didn't go, guffaw with President Obama after the Cubs won in 15? I just, we have to do the spectacle of Steph Curry is not coming and Kevin Durant's not coming and Torrey Smith doesn't want to go from the Eagles, but other players do, and then this is whole controversy, and you have to reach critical mass to come. And you know what? Just don't invite them. Just end the tradition.
End it. Yeah.
Your championship team, and that's great. I mean, is there enough adulation for, as much of a sports fan as I am? Is there enough adulation for high-profile sports figures and teams in this country? I mean, goodness. That the entitled...
It is such a distraction. I mean, President Trump has some very pressing issues on his plate right now. He is the G7 summit in Quebec, and then he has his Kim Jong-un, one night only date that they have.
It's just the entitlement mentality, and they're slight. They slight the president, and so he says, okay, well, you're uninvited. And then they say, how dare you uninvite me? Well, you don't want it. You don't like me anyway. I don't even understand it, honestly.
It's like a bad relationship.
Yeah. I'm not coming to your party. You're not invited. What? How do you? You just uninvited me from your party? That's not right. I have some friends that wanted to come to your party.
My wife
You're
wanted
just
to
canceling
go.
the whole thing? I mean, what? It's so childish. Tim in Naperville, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, good morning, Dan, Amy. I don't get this. When I got 4 kids, when 3 of them didn't want to go on vacation somewhere, we said, okay, we won't go there. We'll go somewhere else. No big deal. So most of the team doesn't want to go to the White House. Okay, so we're not going to go there. Now all of a sudden it's a big deal. It sounds real childish. That's all I got to say.
Thanks for the call, Tim. You should have let that one kid who didn't want to go on vacation go on his own vacation.
I just take my kids. I don't ask them. I tell them where we're going.
Craig in Mount Greenwood.
Hey, Dan, Trump's exactly right because just because those owners are dumb enough and weak enough to allow those players to make their statements on the field like that or in their locker room or whatever it is, but just do all that. Trump doesn't have to allow them to make any kind of statement on the White House grounds or anything like that. That's exactly the right thing to do. And then this other fellow brings up about Trump's background with the draft or something like that. Listen, I believe that Trump is a totally different person than he was many, many years ago.
Yep.
That guy has changed.
All right. Thanks for the call, Craig. I mean, Chris
I mean,
Carter.
to bring that up again and say, and look how unpatriotic he is.
Hall of Famer Chris Carter tweeted, President Obama should invite the Eagles to his house for a barbecue. Fine. Go do it. Yeah, go to Obama's house for a barbecue if he'll invite you. Okay, fine. Yeah, maybe he'll invite Chris and the NFL Countdown guys too. Who cares? You're like, oh, boy, you zinger. You got somebody over. Valerie Jarrett can, I don't know. She can cater it. Whatever. Go ahead. You're killing me. Philip in Blue Island.
It's funny you said who cares, but obviously the president cares. But what he doesn't care about is the real issue of police brutality against black and brown people.
Yeah.
So to make it about the flag, and especially for a draft dodger like the president of the United States, it's crazy. You mentioned Obama. You mentioned Valerie Jarrett. Why are you mentioning these people of color instead of mentioning Bush or other white presidents?
Because Philip, you're not listening, and I was just recalling a tweet from Chris Carter.
I was listening, but I'm just saying for you to go further to mention Valerie Jarrett was kind of, especially in the.
Oh
in
my!
the
I know. You know what, Philip? You're so tiresome. Everything is racist to you. It's just tiresome. Grow up. You're as childish as sometimes the president acts and all these professional athletes. I'm so tired of it. I'm just not going to tolerate that. Every joke, every lampooning of a politician or his political hack aides. If they're black, it's racist. It's the last refuge of the scoundrel, Philip, and you're an intellectual scoundrel. Dennis in Villa Park.
Yeah, I guess that means that I can't make a cake then for the Philadelphia Eagles, huh?
I don't know. I'm going to have to reread the holding in the Masterpiece Cake Shop case. Thanks for the call, Dennis.
Too soon.
Yeah, could you make it?
Well, you can, make a cake.
Paul in Naperville.
Hey, so I think Trump did this to avoid the inevitable news media stories that would have came out today if they're actually invited, saying, hey, you know what, look at how unpopular Trump is. Not even the Philadelphia Phillies will, or whatever. Eagles will go to the White House. Look at this. He's the most unpopular president ever. And I think he just decided to change the narrative before that happened.
I just think he's got other things on his plate, but okay.
No, I don't. I think well, he does. Thanks for the call, Paul. But I think Paul's right. I think there is that he didn't want a spectacle at his expense at the White House, which is fine.
Thousands of fans are going to be there to greet 10 to 15 players. Said it's not worth it.
Well, right,
Okay.
and then but to his point on ESPN and everywhere else, it's going to be this. The story is going to be who didn't show up or how many didn't show up, and the divisiveness and the anthem and the policy. I mean, and the other thing that Trump understands, by the way. It's not just to save face. It's also to prosecute an issue on which he's winning. Think about it both ways.
Right, and although no Philadelphia Eagles players took a knee, the league as a whole and the union members are not happy with
his edict and how the NFL has changed their policy now, that you cannot stand. I mean, that if you cannot kneel during a game, else you'll be you can be suspended. And your team will be fine, right?
Right. Unless,
so if you don't want to stand up, stay in the locker room.
But wait, what owner said? Oh, was it the Jets owner who said he would pay the fines for those who wanted, or the Giants?
No.
Who said? One of the owners said he would pay the fines for his players who wanted to protest to make a spectacle of themselves. So okay, fine.
Yeah, it is the Jets. I love this Google thing. It's really nice.
It's helpful.
Yeah.
Mike in Bolingbrook.
Dan?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dan. First of all, a couple issues. Number one, has anybody researched the fact that Trump actually dodged the draft, or did he have a legitimate reason?
Well,
to not be
one of
drafted?
those bone spurs deferments. That's
Okay.
questionable.
Second point. I'm one of those guys that hasn't watched the NFL in 2 years.
Wow.
In 2 years, okay, and I don't miss it at all. And the third point I want to make, and it's a strong point, none of these people that are going to the White House to visit probably ever served. And if they did, they're proud and stand like that guy. I believe it was from the Eagles that went out, or from the Pittsburgh Steelers that went out.
Yeah.
A war veteran.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And what's
thanks
his
for the
name
call, Mike.
again? We should mention his name again.
Villarreal. Yeah.
That was I was at that game, and I'll never forget. I got the chills.
Yeah, that is an interesting thing too. I mean, you've obviously have players that have served, NFL players who have served.
Look at Tillman; he served.
Pat Tillman, right? And yeah, it is interesting how they approach it from the experience of being in the military, and maybe even just respecting your colleagues in your profession who have served, even if you've got complaints with the country. I mean, you can air your grievances in this country. You don't have to make a spectacle of yourself. And if you want to make a spectacle of yourself, you can. But guess what? In your employment confines, your employer has something to say about it. Welcome to freedom. It goes a lot of different directions.
If you're talking about it, Dan and Amy are talking about it. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity for Upstream-Ideas.com. If Roseanne gets canceled, so should Samantha Bee. Who? It's someone you've never heard of, who has a show you've never seen, who said something vile about Ivanka. Oh, okay, yeah, fire what's-her-name, too. And if Bob Iger is going to apologize to Valerie Jarrett, when is he going to apologize to President Trump? Who? For what? He's a network executive you've never heard of, whose opinion you otherwise find irrelevant, who employs on-air personalities who have said profane and ignorant things about POTUS without consequence. Okay, yeah, apologize. Empty outrage is not synonymous with standing up for yourself or putting in the fight for others. It's just an uninspired substitute for having standards. What Valerie Jarrett termed a teaching moment during one of MSNBC's signature hastily assembled bigot-baiting town halls is actually a trap for conservatives. Jarrett wants you to give in to the left's lack of principles by abandoning yours. Outrage one-upmanship is a two-player game, you see. So ask yourself, do you think we beat them by joining them? Or is the move to be who they say they are but are not, and in so doing give lie to who they say we are and are not?
Every business needs great people, and the better way to find them. Something better than posting your job online and just praying for the right people to see it. ZipRecruiter knew there was a smarter way, so they built a platform that finds the right job candidates for you. ZipRecruiter learns what you're looking for, identifies people with the right experience, and invites them to apply to your job. In fact, 80% of employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just one day. And ZipRecruiter doesn't stop there. They even spotlight the strongest applications you receive, so you never miss a great match. Goodbye post and pray. Hello ZipRecruiter. The smartest way to hire.
People from businesses of all sizes trust ZipRecruiter for their hiring needs. We're so confident ZipRecruiter will get you better results than anywhere else. We'll let you try it free. That's right, free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
For more than a half century, Mueller CPA and Financial Advisory has provided audit, tax, outsourced accounting, business consulting, and financial advisory services to Chicagoland companies. Mueller provides customized financial guidance to a client base that includes independent business owners, startups, local government, and nonprofits. I'm with Dave Nissen, Mueller Managing Partner.
Thanks, Dan. Mueller values being part of the community for the last 50 years, meeting our clients' financial service needs. A major component of meeting those needs is our professionals' superb knowledge and their ability to deliver timely and quality solutions to meet our clients' challenges. Whether you're interested in tax minimization strategies, looking to expand your business, or need assistance with business planning, our team can help. Our goal is your company's financial success today and over a lifetime.
For questions about how the recent legislative changes can specifically affect your business or how to effectively plan for these changes, call Dave Nissen at 847-888-8600 or visit MuellerCPA.com. That's Mueller, Mueller, CPA.com.
Ike was such a sweet, lovable animal, and people would want to pet him, and they'd come up and they'd get close to him, and it would be this instant, oh! My dad didn't want to touch him. It's like, ooh, get the stinky dog away from me.
Even after we'd give her a bath, she would still stink.
Very stinky, both bad breath and bad gas. I asked the vet, and he said some dogs are just stinky.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dinovite for help.
DINOVITE.com.
The omega-3 fatty acids.
Flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa.
The digestive enzymes that are cooked out of regular dog food.
The ingredients convinced me that it was definitely worth trying. After about a week, he started smelling normal. My husband and I were really kind of astonished.
Dinovite is nutrition.
859-428-1000.
DINOVITE.com.
Wow, what a difference. I feel like I live in a brand new home, and it's all thanks to CertaPro Painters. Hi, Amy Jacobson here, and while we were on our trip, I gave CertaPro Painters a key to my house. They came in, painted the living room, master bedroom, and it is impressive. Nothing like a fresh coat of paint to change the vibe of your house. CertaPro Painters are trustworthy. Obviously, I gave them a key to my house. They're professional, talented, and they clean up their mess. It's as if they were never there. And now that summer is coming, you're going to want to hire CertaPro Painters too. You know, family and friends will be over for outdoor entertainment, and you want your house to look its best. Get your porch painted or stained. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C, or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. Each CertaPro Painter's business is independently owned and operated. Once again, get a free estimate at CertaPro.com or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
5:57. Get a check on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. In for Jim, here's Hal.
Thanks, Mike. On the Edens, we have no delays to report. The Kennedy inbound just taps the brakes from the O'Hare extension to Sayre, 27 in from O'Hare to downtown. Back out from Central to Sayre, just a little bit of a delay there. Eisenhower in, that's 41 from 390 to the post office. Big backup is from Wolf to about Des Plaines Avenue. Outbound is fine. Stevenson inbound heavy from Cass to 83, 46 in, and 37 back out to Lakeshore Drive. Dan Ryan in slows from 31st to the Byrne interchange. Tri-State northbound, that's heavy from the Reagan to the Eisenhower. And 8094 eastbound is jammed from Chase to Grant, where an accident is 3 left lanes blocked. Traffic's the service of Discover Student Loans, figuring out how to cover college costs. Discover Student Loans is one of the top private student loan lenders in the country with great rates, 0 fees, plus students can earn a cash reward for the good grades. Visit discoverstudentloans.com to apply today. Limitations apply. Traffic answers when you need the most. I'm Al Verity on AM 560, The Answer.
5:58 on AM 560. Time for a dry basement and a healthy home. Time to call Permaseal, 800-421-SEAL. Chicago's Morning Answer continues after a full update from Fox News and your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Here's our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
A passing shower or two for the morning, then clouds give way to some sun for the day, breezy and cool with a high today 65. Clear night, low 51. Tomorrow, sun and clouds, high 78. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
In our 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center, it's 66 at O'Hare, 68 along the lakefront, and at 5:59, here are the stories that we are following on AM 560, The Answer. Loved ones said farewell to the Chicago Fire Department diver who died in the line of duty last week. It was hundreds pouring into the high school at St. Rita to attend the funeral of Juan Bucio. An investigation continues after an 11-year-old boy was found shot to death on Chicago's far south side. Wisconsin truck driver could stay behind bars in Champaign County for a long time. Judge ordered Kevin Casey from Janesville, Wisconsin, to be held on $2 million bond. Chicago is now officially the home of McDonald's, fast food giant moving from Oak Brook to the city. Cubs and Phillies, White Sox and Twins on tap. WIND, Chicago News Time 6.
President Trump's former campaign chairman could be going to jail. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. Paul Manafort's accused of reaching out to witnesses in his criminal case, and they ratted him out. With more from Washington, here's Fox's Rachel Sutherland.
Chris, prosecutors claim Manafort violated the terms of his bail when he tried to reach witnesses in an effort to influence their testimony in his money laundering and tax evasion case. The special counsel's office is asking a judge to revoke Manafort's bail and put him in jail as he awaits trial. Prosecutors say investigators found evidence of witness tampering when they went through Manafort's iCloud account. Manafort has denied the charges, which came out of the Russia probe. Chris?
Oh, Rachel, the president's wife is back out in public.
Following a kidney procedure in mid-May, First Lady Melania Trump has been largely out of the public eye, leading many mainstream media outlets to paint her as missing in action. Those reports causing the First Lady to fire back on Twitter last week that the media was working overtime and that the American people can rest assured that she's at the White House with her family. She also tweeted photos late Monday of her attendance at a White House event honoring Gold Star families, her first public appearance in more than 3 weeks. In Washington, Sean Langell, Fox News.
Philadelphia Mayor Jim Kenney calls President Trump a fragile egomaniac for canceling an Eagles Super Bowl celebration at the White House today. Only a few players plan to show up. The White House says the cancellation is about players refusing to stand for the national anthem.
The team responded with a statement of its own saying it has been thrilling to celebrate our first Super Bowl championship. Watching the entire Eagles community come together has been an inspiration. We are truly grateful for all of the support we have received, and we are looking forward to continuing our preparations for the 2018 season.
Fox's Ryan Mayer. Eagles fans are told to come anyway for a celebration including the national anthem. 10 people have been killed in a landslide taking out a home with 2 apartments in northeastern India. 4 people have been rescued. Fox News, fair and balanced.
On AM 560, The Answer. Your opinion counts. And we want to know how you feel about the news stories we're talking about each and every day. Make sure to vote in the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll at 560theanswer.com. Listen for today's poll question at 10:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 3:30 p.m. and hear the results each evening at 5:30. It's the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll on 560theanswer.com.
All money managers may seem pretty much the same. But while some money managers may recommend high commission investment products, Fisher Investments avoids them. Some money managers may have hidden and layered fees. Fisher Investments never does. And while some money managers are happy to earn commissions from you, whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. In other words, we're structured to be on your side. Maybe that's why most of our clients come to us from other money managers. Talk with us and find out why so many experienced investors are switching to and staying with Fisher Investments. Fisher Investments, clearly better money management. Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Visit us at FisherInvestments.com to find out what we can do for you.
When you're insured by Mag Mutual, you get more than just medical professional liability protection. You get partnership. They're your partner when it comes to safeguarding patients, physicians, and healthcare teams. Everything they do is focused on protecting and supporting you in the practice of medicine. From helping you save money to mitigating your risk, they are your single source for customized service and support. Their promise to protect includes comprehensive insurance solutions for the practice, business, and regulation of medicine, from expert guidance to an extensive resource library and complimentary access to up-to-date. They're committed to creating a plan specifically for you, ensuring your continued success. You can stay focused on your patients, knowing Mag Mutual is your partner. Visit them on the web at magmutual.com.
For more information about Mag Mutual in Illinois, please contact Jim Nelson at RT Nelson at 630-990-4220 or by email at jnelson@rtnelson.com. Visit their website at rtnelson.com.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Empowered Investing, the show dedicated to investors. Saturdays at noon on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. We're talking about the Eagles being uninvited from the White House. I suppose with respect to the soon-to-be crowned Golden State Warriors NBA champion, President Trump maybe should just issue a preemptory disinvitation.
That if you win, you're not coming to the White House.
Because Steph Curry is not going to want to come. And,
no, he won't be there.
And Kevin Durant's not going to want to come.
Steve Kerr, their coach, isn't going to want to come.
Kevin Durant may probably be afraid that Laura Ingraham could be there. And she'll tell him to shut up and dribble again. For more on this topic and also NBA fashion, we're pleased to be joined by senior writer for NBA.com, our friend Steve Ashburner. Steve, thanks for being with us. Appreciate it. Do we have Steve?
Steve.
Hello.
There we go. Hey, Steve. How you doing?
Yeah, hi. Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
Good morning. So here's the thing. If the Cavs lose, once upon a time, they were burning LeBron James jerseys in effigy. Do you think that Cavs fans will burn his short suit in effigy?
For losing the finals? No, they'll wait until July until he changes teams again.
Yeah, right, exactly. So the prospects for a Cavs comeback, a little basketball, the prospect that Game 3's tomorrow, they got hammered in Game 2 in Golden State. They are up against overwhelming firepower. Is this going to be like a 4-1?
Yeah, when I wrote about this and previewed the final series, I mean that was my prediction that the Cavs would win one of these games in Cleveland here Wednesday or Friday and send everybody back to Golden State, to Oakland for the championship clincher. It just seems like you look at the teams and it's pretty obvious in relative strength that LeBron is the best player on the floor, and then if you were picking playground style, you might then be down to, fifth or sixth when you take Kevin Love, who's his teammate in Cleveland, and then you might be down to 10th or beyond when you pick another Cavalier. So the imbalance in talent in these rosters is pretty dramatic, and as great as he can be, and I don't begrudge him that at all. I mean, this postseason, to me, is the first time that he has sort of lifted himself and clambered up into the discussion among the greatest of all time players.
Don't even say it. Don't even say better than Michael Jordan. Don't say it. Don't say it.
I won't. But that's that is just not enough. And the way that Golden State can attack in multiple ways, I think LeBron's going to run out of gas.
Oh, do you? Yeah, because without him, I mean, he's their whole offense. What, he scored 51 points the first game?
51, correct. And really, their whole offense is predicated on him being such a threat and being able to break down the opposing team defense that they start to cheat and collapse on him or double team him as they did in Game 2. So he finds, with the ball, he finds teammates on the perimeter who, hoist those 3-point shots. And those guys have to hit those shots. Otherwise, it all kind of falls apart. And they just have not gotten reliable shooting from the likes of Kyle Korver or J.R. Smith or George Hill. Some of the guys that they employ almost specifically for their ability to hit the long ball.
Kyle Korver, he was on the Bulls for a time when we still had a franchise in Chicago until they folded.
No, they're starting over. And really, they're starting over.
Yeah, Fred Hoiberg is going to be the starting two-guard, I think, next year. So here's a question for you, though, Steve. Should we apply the D word to Golden State? Are we looking at Golden State having John Wooden run here, and as long as Steph Curry and Kevin Durant are around?
Well, if they win a third championship in 4 years, if the only year they didn't win, they set the all-time regular season record for victories, 73. I think that you have to look at them with some of the teams that we consider to be, somewhat dynastic, including the Bulls with six championships in 8 years, various Showtime Laker teams, the San Antonio team that, had the long run with Tim Duncan. It's almost like they were like a jack-o'-lantern of championships. They would win, then they would take a year off, then they would win, and, you had these spaces in there. But And then, of course, the Russell Celtics are sort of
beyond
grasp, just because they were so dominant, and there really was not serious competition for much of their run.
With the Eagles controversy in the last 24 hours, why is it that the NBA hasn't become as politicized as the NFL, hasn't suffered the same way the NFL has? I mean, you've had dust-ups. I mentioned, Kevin Durant and LeBron James being told by Laura Ingraham to just shut up and dribble. You've had Greg Popovich and Steve Kerr be kind of openly critical of President Trump. But it just doesn't. You haven't had any of the anthem antics. You haven't had. It just doesn't seem you haven't had the same level of politicization in the NBA and the NFL. And I wonder if you have a perspective on why.
I think there are a few reasons. One is that the NBA sort of preempted this whole thing by having a rule on the books, and this predates even David Stern regarding the national anthem. So, they can say, well, they might not like the rule and they may want the rule changed, but I don't think anybody really paid attention to it or got around to it. I mean, so that's there to, head off a lot of this stuff. I think also, it's an environment in which I think a lot of people believe, players, some of those more emotional coaches, believe that everybody does think the way they do. And so I don't think they feel like they have to, convince people or make a demonstration quite the same way. And I think they're a little delusional in that. But I do think that it's like, well, of course we all think this way, and it never really gets probed. And then another reason, and I was talking with Adam Silver for a few minutes over the weekend out in Oakland, and he was talking about how just respect of everybody's views are important, and that's a word he goes to a lot. I also think that these guys do have fairly large platforms in other areas, whether it's shoe endorsements, commercial deals. They have a visibility. Even just the fact that they play out there in, essentially, old-fashioned underwear, they're visible. You see their faces. You're relatively close. The cameras are on. I don't think they feel as anonymous and therefore driven to, I need to make a statement and have people notice who I am when my helmet's off, because when my helmet's on, I don't really, have much personality out there. And I think these guys are a little bit more known quantities overall.
Yeah, it's a friendlier setting because when you see their eyes and their facial expressions, it's different.
Kevin Durant, he was in a recent episode of Billions. He's trying to get his acting career going too.
He was?
Yeah, looks like it.
Well, back to the Philadelphia Eagles. Not one player during the course of the season took a knee. So why is it that only 10 to 15 players wanted to go today to the White House?
Yeah, that's just sort of become this thing now, and to be perfectly fair, we should note that at some point during when the Miami Heat won a couple championships, Pat Riley, the team president, did not go to the White House while Barack Obama was president. I think Tom Brady missed a White House visit when Obama was president with the Patriots. And again, they were not like team-inspired boycotts. I think it just fits in with where we are, that passing up an opportunity to go there and maybe get a comment or two in edgewise, to the president as he shakes your hand. I mean, to actually engage in, a few syllables of dialogue doesn't interest people as much as taking a visible stand and not dialoguing. Everybody wants that conversation until it's time to have a conversation.
What about just the whole sort of pro forma invitation to the championship team to the White House? And should that, in everybody's mental health interest, just go by the boards?
Yeah, I mean, that right. You back this whole thing up, a little ways, and then you've got that ceremonial stuff, and who's getting more out of it? Is it the president and his administration and this photo op for sports fans that maybe they don't know if they're quite under the the umbrella, or is it the sports teams themselves? And what a thrill to go to the White House and meet the president of the United States, whoever it happens to be. That used to be, I think, the side on which most of this fell, but it's flipped, and maybe the fact that in a crazed media world, it's not as big a deal to go to the White House or meet the president. You feel like that stuff's already in your living room all the time, and so now you have to have hard political opinions about things rather than just be respectful of the concept and the whole
Well, who started that?
And just be I'm a basketball player, I'm a baseball player, yeah.
I don't mean to put you on the spot, but how did that whole thing with bringing sports teams to the White House begin?
That I don't know. I'm not sure if Washington or Jefferson brought early styles. Yeah. The whole thing. Presidents throwing out the baseball on opening day. I think that goes back to about Taft or whatever. But
right.
Beyond that, in terms of these visits, I'm not sure that I heard much about it before Nixon. Nixon was a huge NFL fan, and I think Washington might have won. Not sure. When he was in there, he was known for giving, coaching tips, as they would put it, to George Allen, who coached there for a spell. And so maybe that was a little bit of it. I know, before that, mostly I recall as presidents being photographed, from Kennedy, Eisenhower, a few before that, throwing out the first ball. But for teams actually going to the White House, I don't know. I think that's a little bit more modern. It could be. I mean, who knows? It might have been the Miracle on Ice team, in '80 that started that. I'm not sure.
Sure, the Kennedy throwing out the first ball to Joe DiMaggio, who then threw it to Marilyn Monroe.
Right.
They kind of had to do.
And President Trump hasn't thrown out a first pitch yet, correct?
I don't believe he has.
Yeah.
So just going back to the major sports again, NBA versus NFL versus, say, baseball. What about the coverage of it? What about the media side of it? It seems to me, and I don't watch ESPN like I used to, but it seems to me that the pundits that cover football for ESPN and other sports networks, it seems to me maybe they're a little bit more politicized too than some of the reporters and pundits that are more focused on the other sports, or maybe it's just that the NFL is so much more central to their programming than some of the other sports. I'm not sure which it is. Do you have any perspective on that?
I guess, can you give me a for instance regarding what level?
Well, I mean, I just think like
you're talking about.
You hear like Chris Carter tweeted yesterday about the Eagles thing. President Obama should invite the Eagles to his house for a barbecue. Stephen A. Smith has waded into politics. Now he covers the NBA as much as he does, more than he does at the NFL. But it just seems to me on some of the countdown shows. And maybe, again, it's maybe just because I'm more inclined to watch than some of the other stuff on ESPN, that there's more politics infused from – I mean, I remember, for example, Kansas City Chiefs when that what was his name, Belcher, the linebacker who tried to kill his – or did – what was it? He killed his girlfriend and then he killed himself.
Right, outside
and Adam Schefter went on this rant about gun control and – Bob Costas when he was doing sports. Yeah. It just seems to me they're more inclined to wade into the public policy of the political arena than some of the reporters or pundits, analysts in the other sports.
Well, I mean, the TNT studio show of, with Shaq and Kenny Smith and Charles Barkley and Ernie Johnson, I mean, they will take on these things as well. And what you often see is, two of the four or three of the four might have the same opinion on something, and then there's usually at least one person that's a counterbalance. I'm not sure if you get the counterbalance on some of the NFL stuff. I don't watch enough of that to really know. I'm more aware. I am aware of Costas and strident positions that he has put out there during sports telecasts. I think part of it goes to, and I've been in this sports side of journalism, my entire career. So I can attest to this, I guess. There's a lot of people on this side of it. There's a little bit of a sheepishness or inferiority complex that, I'm a journalist, but I don't really cover anything that matters. And therefore, I need to sort of puff up when I get an opportunity to wade into a social topic. And almost more so, I mean, we talk about bias in mainstream media, and it's to me, it's almost less checked than in the political side or the news side, because you are covering things that don't matter. It long has been known as the toy department of news, and so you're it's like, well, I have to feel good about myself and be able to look my peers in the eye when I walk through the Washington Post newsroom to get to the sports department. And I think there's that. I think there's, people start out and I want to be Woodward and Bernstein, and eventually you want to be Bob Costas, so you want to be, I don't even know who the sort of national writers are at this stage. It's all gotten so splintered, but, Dick Young or Red Smith, or something, to really reach back. But, there's that, I think. There's sort of this sense that I don't really matter. I need to. So to me, that's the problem with these coaches that go on these rants, is that they're doing it to a nodding audience of young alleged journalists who don't ever push back. And to me, that's the biggest problem with mainstream media, is when they agree with the people they cover, they don't push back. They don't scrutinize. Only when they disagree, and they shouldn't even be in the business of disagreeing. They should only be, in the matter of, in the business of covering and carrying, alternative views. But when they disagree, as we see a lot with in this Trump era, all they want to do is push back and ignore, anything legit that comes from that side of things.
Yeah, no, that's an interesting perspective. I think that makes a lot of sense. He is Steve Ashburner. He is a senior writer for NBA.com. Get his. You can also follow him on Twitter, ASCHNBA. Get his reviews of the NBA Finals for as long as they continue. Steve, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Sure. Good talking with you.
Thank you.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM 560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Coming up next, Scott Peterson, the security guard at Stoneman Douglas High School, breaks his silence. But first, here's your forecast for today. An AM shower in 2 or 3 spots in the northwest suburbs and in the city. Then, as the day progresses, we're going to have breezy conditions, some sun, some clouds, a high of 65 degrees. Tonight, clear, low of 51. And for tomorrow, warmer with a blend of sun and clouds, a high of 78. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Telemonte.
Hey, Amy, Dan. Hey, both sides of the Edens are moving very well. It's 19 either way from Lake Cook to the Kennedy Junction. On the Kennedy, it's 34 minutes, 31 back out to the airport. Eisenhower 47 in from 390 to the post office. Inbound backs up from Wolf to about Harlem. Outbound just 31, though. Stevenson's 48 in to Lakeshore Drive, 38 back out to 355. And Dan Ryan inbound, a 29-minute trip. Outbound, we had an overturned vehicle, and that had traffic jammed up between 43rd and 51st. Traffic's still a little heavy there, but the accident's been cleared. 57 in slows from 115th to the Ryan Bishoport in, about the same thing. 20 in on 57, 23 in on Bishoport. And Tri-State northbound from the Reagan to North Avenue. Traffic is backing up there. Adams eastbound heavy from the Tri-State to the River Road Toll Plaza. Mal Verde in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Men, are you tired of those daily blue enhancement pills that take days, weeks, or months to work, if they ever work at all? Listen up. Now you can take Red, the new natural male empowerment pill that works on demand. Even your partner will notice the difference the very first time you use it. To prove Red won't disappoint like the others, you're invited to participate in our nationwide I Take Red Partner Reaction Guarantee Trial. We're seeking participants for this nationwide trial, not only to prove it works the very first time you try it. We guarantee your partner will also notice the difference. Forget those slow-acting blue pills and join those who proudly take Red. Over 50,000 pills have already been claimed and supplies are limited. So to ensure your participation in this free nationwide trial, you must call now.
Superior virility on demand. You only need to take Red once to see what all the fuss is about. Call immediately to participate in our free nationwide trial. Call 800-658-0723. 800-658-0723. Be one of thousands to proudly say, I take Red. 800-658-0723.
Are you buying or selling a business or starting a business? Maybe you have legal problems with a business partner or employees, or are just drowning in new regulations. You need the support of a law firm that concentrates in a wide range of business law and tax matters. You need the corporate team at Kelleher and Buckley. Whether you're a local mom and pop shop, middle market business, or a large corporation or franchise, They provide cost-effective legal solutions to help your businesses thrive. The lawyers of Kelleher and Buckley focus on targeted legal advice tailored to meet the specific needs of your business. You deserve competent legal representation from a law firm maintaining a high level of knowledge about the ever-changing laws governing businesses. One that also includes accountants and tax specialists on board to provide your business bottom-line solutions. Kelleher and Buckley, LLC of North Barrington and Chicago is a legal solution provider that also includes estate planning, asset protection, life insurance planning, and litigation. Keep your business on track. Call 847-382-9130 or online at kelleherbuckley.com.
Dan Proft here with Ryan Kelly, the home loan expert. And while interest rates have ticked up a bit, they're still at relatively historic lows. So maybe a good time to refinance, particularly you build up equity in the house and you want to see what you can do to fully leverage that. So, Ryan, thinking about refinancing as a possibility or something to explore, how should people consider that?
Great question, Dan, and thanks for letting me join you. Home values have been skyrocketing. It's everywhere. It's in the news feeds. It's out there. And you now have a ton of equity you didn't have just a year ago. And as you said, mortgage interest rates are still low. So what does that mean? It means you have options. You know, one of the biggest calls that we get here at the Home Loan Expert office is, I've got some credit cards. They piled up through the holidays or maybe with the kids in school and all that. And people are looking to do a cash-out refinance and pay off those credit cards. Cash-out refinance with the Home Loan Expert office is just as easy as a normal refinance, but we don't stop there. We get you the lower rate. We get you the cash you need to pay off those credit cards once and for all. Apply for a cash-out refinance today at thehomeloanexpert.com. The Home Loan Expert, LLC.
People have long associated the Ozinga name with concrete, but truth be told, Ozinga has always been on a quest to create a better world. We want to help you build your business so you can provide for your family, create better jobs, and build your community. It's why we constantly engineer better concrete, haul raw materials, and supply cleaner fuel. Together, we can positively impact the places where we live, work, and play throughout the Chicagoland area. To learn more, go to ozinga.com. That's OZINGA.com.
So, you're a truck driver, a clutch cowboy, a wrangler of the road. At Ozinga, you are exactly who we need. Concrete truck drivers. People who aren't afraid of a little adventure and hard work. If you're tired of monotony and are looking to build something that matters, then come build with us. At Ozinga, we are building our families, our communities, and our country. Apply online today at ozinga.com. That's OZINGA.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I was diagnosed with congestive heart failure. I went from being able to work 14, 16 hours a day with no problem to where I could barely walk a block to the store. I went on to the phytonutrients about 6 months ago, and within a couple of months, my medical doctor had cut my prescriptions down in a little bit smaller dosage. The next time I went back a month later, I walked into the doctor's office and he says, "My gosh, what's happened to you? You don't even look like the same person." He looked at my legs and the swelling had gone down. My blood pressure was down. The venous stasis ulcers that I had had on my legs for the last 4 or 5 years because of the poor circulation were all healed, and I'm feeling far better.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, so the coward of Broward is speaking, Amy.
Ooh, yeah, he's tired of being called a coward. He's been forced into a life of seclusion. You know, he retired 8 days after that, has been collecting a hefty pension.
$8,000 a month.
Is hoping to get out of the spotlight because he feels awful about what happened.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I didn't.
So what they did yesterday, Savannah Guthrie has gotten the exclusive interview with him. He's coming forward in hopes of trying to clear his name. So they haven't released the entire interview. That's going to be broadcast at, I think, 8 o'clock Eastern time, so 7 o'clock our time. But he tried to shed light on what happened.
So your dispatcher, nobody's giving you any information?
No intel, no real-time intelligence whatsoever.
About a shooter inside the building?
Inside the building or even at the school, exactly.
You buying any of this?
Well, did you hear the shots being fired? Did you run to the sound of the gunfire?
He said that he heard, but he wasn't sure where the shots were coming from. So he took a position outside the school, hoping that the shooter, if he was running out or running into that building, that he could hit him there.
So your dispatcher...
This will haunt me the rest of my life. It will. Those are my kids, those were my kids.
And a lot of the victims' family members are taking offense to him saying, those were my kids.
Well, there was...
They're like, if they were your kids, you would have run in and done something more.
You know, this whole Broward County Sheriff's Office is not holding up well under scrutiny. The Scott Israel is also sort of a mess.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a case reported down in Miami a couple of weeks ago about these two again. Scott Peterson was assigned to a case involving an alleged assault of one student by other students at Stoneman. And it was one of the accused who was given a 3-day suspension was Scott Israel's kid.
I know, yeah.
And now they're suggesting cover-up. Here's the case. The case involved two 17-year-old students bullying a 14-year-old freshman, one holding down the younger boy by his ankles while the other kicked the victim, grabbed his genitals, and then took the victim's own baseball bat and began shoving it against his backside, simulating rape through the boy's clothes. And again, one of the assailants was Scott Israel, the sheriff's son. Rather than this being referred as potentially a criminal matter, they let it be an administrative matter and 3-day suspensions. And this goes back to a couple of things. One is potentially, Scott Peterson covering for his boss. Number two is this whole regime at that school. And it's not limited to that school. This is another idea exported from the brilliance that goes on in CPS here, because that's where their superintendent is from, Chicago. That we don't discipline. We don't make criminal referrals.
No, it's in-house, all in-house.
And even in-house, we're loath to discipline.
So they asked, Savannah asked him, "Are you a coward?"
Were you a coward?
Never.
That's what they called you, the coward of Broward County.
I know. Never. I never had a chance. I never thought even for a moment of being scared or a coward because I was just doing things the whole time. It never entered my mind.
I don't think he did himself any favors by coming forward and telling his story.
Well, we'll have more on that interview when the entirety of it is aired, and we'll pick up the conversation there.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Let's talk a little tariff. I have a little tariff talk with our friend Jimmy Pethokoukis from American Enterprise Institute at 6:36.
But first, into the newsroom we go. Here is Mike Scott.
At 6:31, gray skies, 68 degrees. One man is dead, 2 others hospitalized. So they were shot on Chicago's west side early this morning, standing in an empty lot near 5th and Pulaski. Fire crews in Chicago battling a fierce blaze on the north side. Fire broke out this morning in the 1700 block of West Touhy Avenue. So far, CFD says 2 injured, 1 critically. The head of Guatemala's National Forensic Sciences Institute says 69 are dead in a volcanic eruption. 17 have been identified. So far, because of the intense heat of the volcanic debris flow, most bodies are left unrecognizable. There are primaries in 8 states today. Voters casting ballots in California, Alabama, Iowa, Mississippi, Montana, New Jersey, New Mexico, and South Dakota will watch what's being termed the jungle primary in California. There, because of all the Democrats that are running, the blue wave may reach a wall. Prosecutors in Russia, in the Russia probe, say former Trump campaign manager Paul Manafort tried to tamper with possible witnesses in the criminal case against him. Chicago Fire Department mourning the loss of another firefighter this morning. Firefighter Brian Schofield was among 2 killed Sunday night in a fiery wrong-way crash on I-57 near Country Club Hills. The off-duty firefighter and the other driver were pronounced dead at the scene. Chicago sports. Cubs and Phillies open a 3-game set at Wrigley tonight. White Sox begin a 4-game series with the Twins. It is a rare twilight doubleheader at Target Field. The news, a service of LifeLock. LifeLock Identity Theft Protection has added Norton's Security to help protect you against cyber criminals. Protection for your identity and devices. Go to lifelock.com, enter promo code RISK for an extra 10% off the low starting price of $7.99 a month. Terms apply. 6:34 is our time. We'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager says love isn't all you need.
This is what the left-wing world press loves, pablum.
Love. All we need is love.
In my commentary on the Bible, Volume 1, Exodus, I talk about love as a false god. If we had love, no one would be impoverished. Oh, that's what's been lacking. Oh, I didn't figure it out. Why does love conquer poverty?
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Get your truly free credit score and free credit monitoring from Credit Karma. Download the Credit Karma app today. Credit Karma. Get knowing.
Earnings vary based on your effort.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses right here in Chicago? If so, we have an amazing opportunity for you. We're looking for a small group of motivated individuals to join our real estate investing team. You'll learn our simple 3-step system for flipping homes right here in the local area. This is Than Merrill, star of A&E's hit TV show Flip This House. My team and I are looking for a handful of people in the Chicago area who want to learn how to make money flipping houses in your spare time using other people's money. Chicago is a perfect market for my system, and next week I'm holding a free 2-hour educational workshop where you will learn how to make money flipping homes and how to build long-term wealth with income properties.
To get 2 free tickets to Than's workshop, call 1-800-300-2330. Seating is extremely limited. Call in the next 10 minutes and you'll also reserve a free copy of Than's Money for Deals Guide. That's 1-800-300-2330. That's 1-800-300-2330.
It is 6:36 in Chicago. Let's get an update on that morning ride to work in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. In for Jim, here's Al.
Thanks, Mike. On the Edens, the inbound trip is 25 minutes, just 20 back out to Lake Cook. Kennedy Inn is 41, O'Hare to downtown, 43 to get back out to the airport. Eisenhower, 54 into the post office, and 40 back out to 390. Stevenson, it's heavy, it's 54 into Lakeshore Drive, 43 on the outbound side. Day on Ryan, 32 into downtown. Outbound just a 16-minute trip down to 95th. 57 inbound backs up from 127 to the Ryan, about 26 in from 80. Bishop Ford in is slow from the Steel Bridge to the Ryan, 27 in from 80-94 to the Ryan. Traffic is a service of Napa this month at participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Avalanche AC recharge kits are on sale for just $39.99, plus a $15 prepaid Visa card by mail. Quality parts, helpful people, that's Napa know-how. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Al Verdi on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast comes from the 1-Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. We'll have a morning shower, breezy and cooler with clouds breaking for a bit of sun in the afternoon. High only of 65, low 51 overnight, and 78. Nice day shaping up tomorrow. 68 at O'Hare. Next news at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is sponsored by the Townstone Financial Show, Saturday afternoons at 1. Nobody values your mortgage business like Townstone. Listen and call for the best advice.
Hey, Joe Walsh here. Bill, Hillary Clinton, stay on TV. I want you on TV every single day. I'll explain when freedom returns at 5.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So President Trump, last week's jobs report, tweeted out best economy, best jobs report, or job climate ever.
It tweeted broke protocol because the job numbers were out yet.
Oh, yeah, he jumped the gun, too.
Yeah.
But it's the
I
best
wasn't
ever.
offended by that. I mean, whatever.
Yeah. He got the, well, I mean, I guess there's conspiracy theories about what he's somehow trading on insider information because he got the
jobs
BLS report
first?
before, the BLS BS
He is
report before.
president. I don't know.
So here's the thing: the best economy ever is what he's saying. If you can get beyond the report and the surrounding conspiracy theories, Jim Pethokoukis, our friend at American Enterprise Institute, is risking being uninvited from the White House by disagreeing. Jim joins us now. Jim, thanks for being with us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the uninvitation's already happened, but I'll do my best.
We'll just call you the Eagles.
You have a standing uninvitation, is what you're saying.
I believe it's standing and permanent.
Why is Trump wrong to say best economy ever? By what measure is he wrong?
Kind of by just about any measure. Look, if you went back to 2010 and you looked at a chart of job growth, if you looked at a chart of economic growth, you would not say, "Oh, there's where Trump became president." It's been pretty steady, since the Obama administration, since the economy really covered the Great Recession. Listen, the economy is growing about what it did, 2%-ish. That's not great. That's slower than it has since World War II, the average. Unemployment is low. It's been lower. It could go lower. That would be fantastic. This has been a very, very long expansion. But if you compare like this economy to the 90s, where you had 4% and 5% growth, very low unemployment, and most importantly, the single most important economic statistic is productivity. How productive workers are. That boom, that is really why we had a 1990s boom. That is dead in the water currently, and we will not be able to sustain this growth, and we will not have sharply higher wages unless that improves. And right now, that's going nowhere.
But but the worker productivity is a good point, and I think probably an underappreciated one.
It's the most important point.
No,
I
know.
You cannot call this economy the best ever. It is the number one economic statistic that drives living standards that make sure our kids have a better life than us. That needs to improve.
No, I can see that point. And as I was saying, it's an underappreciated point when we talk about all the data that measures how good we're doing. Is not a lot of people focus on worker productivity, and that's an appropriate focus. However, I would just say in terms of Trump's policies, forget this, the puffery of best economy ever and so forth. But I mean, reducing the corporate and personal income tax rates. Another underappreciated thing that's occurred in his time is the deregulation. You have a slight but nevertheless real reduction in federal headcount, so sort of size and scope and expense of government. I mean, those are positives, are they not?
Listen, it's tough to talk about the size and scope of government if you got some guy at the Commerce Department going through a spreadsheet saying we're going to put a tariff on this one, we're not going to put a tariff on that one. That is size and scope of government. Listen, I like tax cuts. I'm glad we got that corporate rate down. That is a very good long-term policy goal. We should not. What it's supposed to do is boost worker productivity. That's over the long term. Anything that happens really now and over the next year or so is good old-fashioned Keynesian stimulus, juicing the economy sugar high. That's what Republicans criticized Obama for. That's what we're doing right now with a deficit-financed tax cut. So listen, all these Wall Street banks, they think the economy should jump this year and next year. Hey, that's great, but that's not because of Republican economics. That's the kind of stuff that we criticized Obama for. It may eventually boost productivity, but that should be down the line. Anything you see right now, it's exactly the kind of thing Republicans hated, sugar economics.
Yeah, agreed. Now I am going to pull rank on you, though.
Uh-oh.
All right?
Here we go.
You ready? Larry Kudlow. I'm pulling rank. Larry Kudlow suggesting, number one, Justin Trudeau shouldn't be running around with his hair on fire for a little tariff. Number two, that the tariffs, though he is not a tariff, which is a tax guy, of course, he's a free trader, but it's still... According to Larry, it's still a lever for a medium-term growth play to reduce barriers across the board, whether it's NAFTA or our Chinese trading partners. Is Larry right? Is Larry right to be so optimistic?
No, listen. That's a fantasy. That all of a sudden, that all these tariffs, it's all going to lead to this kind of like free trade nirvana. Far more likely, it's going to lead to the breakdown of the global trading system. That's what other people in that administration, like Peter Navarro, want. They don't like globalization. They don't like these global supply chains. They want to bring us back to about the 1950s. That is not the direction we're heading. And Larry can say what he wants, but listen, I think that's a fantasy. And there's no evidence that that's working. And there's been no evidence that Trump's been able to strike like better deals. We just did this agreement with South Korea. We got nothing out of it other than like the distrust of a key ally.
So would you say that the troika of Ross, Lighthizer, and Navarro sort of the biggest threat to growth-oriented policies coming from the Trump administration? I mean, in addition to the president himself subscribing to it.
Listen, I'm not going to call them an axis of evil because they're not evil, but it's kind of an axis of dopiness. It's completely the wrong direction. It's tough to find an economist who agrees with it. Right now it's tough to find a businessman agree with it. Even the steelworkers union don't like these tariffs. This is really keyed off the idiosyncratic outlying views of Wilbur Ross, Navarro, and the president, whose views on this haven't changed for 40 years, which means they've been wrong for 40 years.
Well, what do you think is going to happen at the G7 summit in Quebec? I mean, do you think they're going to get through to? Do you think they're going to get to through to President Trump?
No, listen. I know that people like Larry Kudlow and Steve Moore, who you probably had on the show, they've explained all this with trade to Kudlow, to the president repeatedly. It has not sunk in. Our problem is not trade deficits. To the extent we have a trade problem, it's that we have China, which is on this kind of like tech war against America, stealing our intellectual property and stealing technology, and these sort of state-run businesses supported by their government. That's the problem. It's not cars or sorghum or any of this stuff, and that's not what we're focused on. And again, utterly the wrong direction. Thank goodness that we still have this expansion, which has been in place since 2009, won't last forever, and nothing we're doing right now, with perhaps the exception of the big corporate tax rate cut, is helping that.
Yeah, but the problem, too, just as that sort of exacerbates this dynamic you're describing, is you talk about the G7 summit. He's not going there. It's not a Milton Friedman society. He's going there to talk to a bunch of socialists about trade policy. I mean, this is the tit-for-tat crowd.
Well, listen. If you're looking for the big government, kind of like left-wing trade policy, listen. If you look at Trump's trade policy and what our trade policy would be like if Bernie Sanders was president, you could not find a difference. We have the Bernie Sanders trade policy that somehow we managed to get to the left of all these European countries. It's really amazing.
All right. Well, thanks a lot for the pick-me-up, Jim.
Can I ask you? Lower corporate tax rate, Dan and Amy. Go lower corporate tax rate.
All right.
And real quick question. I mean, I know I love these tax cuts, but I feel like I'm pouring that extra savings into my gas tank. Any relief anytime soon?
Do they have the scooters yet in Chicago, like they do in San Francisco? We tried the scooter.
Yeah.
Or the divvy bike. Okay.
The solar-powered scooter. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Solar-powered. Perfect combo.
Jim Pethokoukis, CNBC contributor and columnist for the American Enterprise Institute. Jim, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Jimmy P. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
The stories you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
So sweet. We find out who Mitt Romney voted for in the last presidential election. I know. I love Mitt Romney. And Harry and Meghan. But first, here's your forecast. Some morning showers rolling through here. Otherwise, by this afternoon, breezy, cooler with some clouds breaking for some sun, a high of 65 degrees. Tonight, clear, a low of 51. That'll be nice. Turn off your AC. And for tomorrow, Wednesday, warmer with a blend of sun and clouds, a high of 78 luscious degrees. Now let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Al Verde is in for Jim Telemonte.
Thank you, Amy. Dan, on the Edens inbound, it's actually kind of heavy between Devon and Montrose. Just 27 in, though, from Lake Cook to the Kennedy Junction. Back out only a 22-minute ride. Kennedy in, that's 42 from O'Hare to downtown. About the same back out. On the Eisenhower, it's an hour or two into the post office. 41 back out to 390. Stevenson, a 55-minute inbound trip. 43 back out to 355. And Dan Ryan, that's 35 into downtown. Traffic jams up in the express lanes from 43rd and in the locals from the Stevenson. Outbound, just 15 minutes, no delay at all. 57 inbound, that's heavy 127th to the Ryan. Bishop Ford in slows from 115th. 38 in, though, from 8094. Lakeshore Drive northbound from the Stevenson to Jackson. Traffic backs up there a bit. On the Tri-State, northbound jams between the Reagan and North Avenue, and the westbound 290 exit ramp is heavy as well. I'm Al Verdi in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
I'm Lou Dobbs. The NLRB says Disney World can deny bonuses to union members. Winnebago buying boat maker Chris Craft, and Walmart scaling back in Brazil. Those stories next.
The following is not an actor, but a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
It's probably been about 10 years ago. I had quite a few credit cards. The interest on the cards was really high. I was making the minimum payments, but barely. And it was just getting to be too much, so I called Trinity.
If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976 to talk to a certified counselor.
They met with me, and they were able to get all of my credit cards in one lower payment.
Trinity will consolidate your accounts into one easy-to-manage monthly payment, put a stop to late fees and over-limit charges, reduce your interest, and possibly improve your credit score. You'll save thousands.
They did help me learn how to manage my money. Now, we have a house, and we're doing a lot better.
If your debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976.
My name is Holly, and I am debt-free for keeps.
1-800-990-6976.
The National Labor Relations Board ruling that the Disney World Resort did not violate the law when it refused to pay a $1,000 bonus to union members who are now renegotiating wages. Non-union employees at Disney received those bonuses following President Trump's tax cuts. Walmart divesting itself of a majority of its store operations in Brazil, where the retail giant has been struggling. The downsizing and consolidation may cost Walmart well over $4 billion. RV maker Winnebago buying boat company Chris Craft, financing the deal with cash and debt. The combined company will create a diversified platform of outdoor lifestyle products. Chris Craft has been making boats since 1974. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 and 11 Eastern, on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
I've told you how the MyPillow mattress topper has 3 unique layers of comfort. It supports your body weight, helps relieve pressure points, and keeps your body temperature regulated all night, not too cold or hot. So don't wait to get yours, because in June you will save 30%. Plus, when you buy a mattress topper at a discount, you'll also get 2 free standard MyPillows. That's an unreal offer. 2 standard MyPillows free and 30% off a mattress topper. Or get 1 low price on 2 MyPillows and receive free shipping. But you have to use the promo code Amy. There's a 10-year warranty on pillows and mattress toppers and a 60-day money-back guarantee. So go online or call now for these great deals and others, including 30% off those pet beds. Those things get smelly, and with the MyPillow pet bed, you can just throw it in the washer and dryer. Hayek will probably tear it to shreds, possibly, but give it a shot. Sheets they have and much more. Go to MyPillow.com, type Amy in that promo code, or call 800-489-0201. That's 800-489-0201.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule. Thousands of doctors, health specialists, and professionals recommend Balance of Nature as a way of improving their health. Listen to a few unsolicited success stories from doctors that use Balance of Nature as well.
Scientific research has shown that many cancers and lifestyle diseases can be prevented with a diet rich in fruits and vegetables. This prevention comes from the phytochemicals in the plants. I take Balance of Nature because I know, I've seen it in my lab, and I know that it works. I've seen the immune response increase, I've seen your DNA repair capacity increase, and I've seen DNA protection. And that, to me, as a scientist, rings so true.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity for Upstream-Ideas.com. If Roseanne gets canceled, so should Samantha Bee. Who? It's someone you've never heard of, who has a show you've never seen, who said something vile about Ivanka. Oh, okay, yeah, fire what's-her-name, too. And if Bob Iger is going to apologize to Valerie Jarrett, when is he going to apologize to President Trump? Who? For what? He's a network executive you've never heard of, whose opinion you otherwise find irrelevant, who employs on-air personalities who have said profane and ignorant things about POTUS without consequence. Okay, yeah, apologize. Empty outrage is not synonymous with standing up for yourself or putting in the fight for others. It's just an uninspired substitute for having standards. What Valerie Jarrett termed a teaching moment during one of MSNBC's signature hastily assembled bigot-baiting town halls is actually a trap for conservatives. Jarrett wants you to give in to the left's lack of principles by abandoning yours. Outrage one-upmanship is a two-player game, you see. So ask yourself, do you think we beat them by joining them? Or is the move to be who they say they are but are not, and in so doing give lie to who they say we are and are not?
Nowadays, there's an app for everything, and here's one that's a must-have if you golf. It's the Bolingbrook Golf Club mobile app, and it'll enhance your golf experience. You can book tee times at Bolingbrook Golf Club. There's an interactive scorecard, golf games, a GPS, latest news from the club, even a food and beverage menu, Facebook sharing, and more. Just about everything you need for your golf game besides the clubs is in the palm of your hand with the new Bolingbrook Golf Club mobile app. Go to BolingbrookGolfClub.com/contact/download our app. BolingbrookGolfClub.com/contact/download our app. And download today.
Are you ready to take your golf game to the elite level? The Bolingbrook Elite Athlete Training Program, or BEAT, is the highest level of training designed to maximize potential and develop highly skilled players. You'll learn from the Bolingbrook Golf Club's world-class instructors. They've designed practice schedules and content to maximize player development. For the athlete that aspires to compete and train at the highest levels, check out BEAT, Bolingbrook Elite Athlete Training. More info at BolingbrookGolfClub.com.
I've been suffering from depression for about 45 years. I've probably been on 5 to 6 different antidepressants. And even when they did work, there was that underlying feeling of depression. And it would never go away. Just call one of the treatment centers and just talk to the psychiatrist or doctor, and you'll be on your way. I'm Christy. I'm a wife and a mother and a real estate broker, and I no longer suffer from depression.
HPR centers in Chicagoland and Milwaukee offer TMS therapy. In just a few weeks, you can change your life, and it's FDA cleared. It's covered by most insurance, including Blue Cross, Blue Shield, and Medicare. You can make real progress in the battle with depression, cure or remission. Get a free consultation. 800-604-0208. 800-604-0208. HPR centers. Go to endmydepression.com. End your depression.
Dan Proft here with the Home Loan Expert. He is Ryan Kelly, homeloanexpert.com. And a program that Ryan Kelly has that's near and dear to our hearts here at AM 560 is one specifically that caters to veterans, military families. The Hero Loan Program is what it's called. And Ryan, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely, and thank you for letting me join you today, Dan. Hero.loan, that's hero.loan. It's the only way to VA. And we were sitting at our office, and we were trying to find a way to give more back to our service members, active and retired, and military families. The VA loan program really needed to be retooled, I guess, for lack of better words, and that's what we've done. We've streamlined it. We close VA loans in 14 days. I pay for your appraisal, and we give a portion of our money back to a great foundation called Fisher House. If you're even considering refinancing or buying a home and you qualify for the VA financing, apply online today at hero.loan. That's hero.loan, the only way to VA. The Home Loan Expert, LLC.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, so Bill Clinton's continuing his book tour with James Patterson, this novel, The President's Missing. He's out there hawking. And he clarified yesterday in New York that bitchy interview he gave on the Today Show.
Oh, he was a little ornery. Didn't see it coming, did he?
The demand for, the demand about whether he or not he personally apologized to Monica Lewinsky. Here's a kinder, gentler Bill Clinton.
The truth is, the hubbub was I got hot under the collar.
Yeah,
because of the way the questions were asked. And I think what was lost are the 2 points that I made that are important to me. The suggestion was that I'd never apologized for what caused all the trouble for me 20 years ago. So the first point is, I did. I meant it then and I meant it now. I apologize to my family, to Monica Lewinsky and her family, and to the American people before a panel of ministers in the White House.
Well, before a panel of selected ministers in the White House, not exactly what we're talking about. Oh, by the way, and actually Megyn Kelly, to her credit, pointed this out. In the Me Too era, since you're such a big Me Too supporter, Mr. President, you also have to respond to those persistent rape allegations.
Oh, yeah.
Did you apologize?
Craig Melvin didn't bring that up.
Did you apologize to Paula Jones? You settled the lawsuit with her.
No. Well, first of all, Monica Lewinsky's never asked for an apology. But also, too, Craig Melvin, that reporter at NBC, he was just trying to make a name for himself, trying to elevate his status there on NBC.
I'm sorry, what's his name?
Yeah, I know, exactly. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Is California becoming a real-world Elysium, and is Illinois far behind at 7:07?
And later, the Eagles have been grounded. We'll explain. But here is Mike Scott.
1 killed, 2 wounded in a West Side shooting and a deadly fire on Chicago's North Side. WIND Chicago News Time, 7 o'clock.
The Eagles are grounded. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. President Trump disinviting the Philadelphia Eagles to the White House for a Super Bowl championship party today says it's about players not standing for the national anthem.
The Eagles were only going to send a small group of players to the White House after a number of players said they weren't going to attend the ceremony in their honor. The president with a preemptive bird strike. In a statement, President Trump saying the team is unable to attend the ceremony because they don't agree with his belief that NFL players should proudly stand for the national anthem, hand on heart, in honor of the great men and women of our military and the people of our country.
Fox's Todd Pyro, the president, tweeting this morning, "We will proudly be playing the national anthem and other wonderful music celebrating our country today at 3 p.m. The president's former campaign manager, Paul Manafort, is accused of witness tampering. Fox's Rachel Sutherland's live in D.C.
Chris Manafort could go to jail as he awaits trial on money laundering and tax evasion charges. The special counsel's office maintains he contacted witnesses by phone and through encrypted messages in an effort to influence their testimony. The contacts were reportedly uncovered by investigators on Manafort's iCloud account. Manafort has been on house arrest since his indictment last October. He says he's innocent. His former business partner, Rick Gates, has pleaded guilty and is cooperating with special counsel Robert Mueller. Chris?
Rachel, thanks. A week from today, President Trump is supposed to meet with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un.
Before the president takes off for Singapore, the Senate's top Democrats sent him a letter. They want the White House to clue Congress in on its plans before the negotiations begin. They also want to make clear that any deal that does not require the complete denuclearization of North Korea is a bad deal.
Fox's Kristen Fisher. A 15-year-old girl learning how to drive hit and killed 2 men in a Philadelphia shopping center parking lot last night. Her SUV lunged forward, pulling into a parking spot. Fox News, fair and balanced.
68 degrees, cloudy skies, 7:02 on AM 560. The Answer, good morning. I'm Mike Scott. 1 man is dead, 2 others hospitalized after they were shot on Chicago's West Side. The victim standing in an empty lot this morning near 5th and Pulaski when 4 others approached. Police say they opened fire. No arrests have been made. Fire crews battling an apartment blaze on Chicago's North Side this morning. Blaze broke out around early this morning around 5 a.m. in the 1700 block of West Touhy. So far, Chicago Fire says 1 person has passed away and 1 other critically hurt. Loved ones said farewell to the Chicago Fire Department diver who died in the line of duty last week. Hundreds attended the funeral of Juan Bucio yesterday at St. Rita High School. Pastor Gary Graff spoke to Bucio's 2 young sons during the funeral.
Know that from this day forward, you can count on everyone who's here. We are with you. We are your family. We will make sure that you're taken care of.
The veteran firefighter died Memorial Day while searching for a man who fell off a boat in the Chicago River. A 12-year-old boy is in stable condition following a hit-and-run crash on Chicago's South Side. Police continue to track that SUV that hit that 12-year-old and spotted the vehicle later near 64th and Bishop. The driver cited for not having a license, insurance, or failing to report an accident involving an injury. Chicago sports, Cubs and Phillies open a 3-game series at Wrigley tonight. White Sox begin a 4-game set with the Twins with a rare twilight doubleheader at Target Field. Sox go with Oregon State shortstop Nick Madrigal with the number 4 pick in the 2018 MLB draft. He's a good one. The Cubs also select a good shortstop, Nico Horner, out of Stanford at number 24 in the first round. The news, a service of Lowe's. Pro customers at Lowe's save 5% every day when you use your Lowe's business credit account. 5% on all purchases in-store or online, subject to credit approval, U.S. only. 7:04. We'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
On AM 560, The Answer. Your opinion counts. And we want to know how you feel about the news stories we're talking about each and every day. Make sure to vote in the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll at 560theanswer.com. Listen for today's poll question at 10:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 3:30 p.m. And hear the results each evening at 5:30. It's the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll on 560theanswer.com.
All money managers may seem pretty much the same. But while some money managers may recommend high commission investment products, Fisher Investments avoids them. Some money managers may have hidden and layered fees. Fisher Investments never does. And while some money managers are happy to earn commissions from you, whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. In other words, we're structured to be on your side. Maybe that's why most of our clients come to us from other money managers. Talk with us and find out why so many experienced investors are switching to and staying with Fisher Investments. Fisher Investments, clearly better money management. Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Visit us at FisherInvestments.com to find out what we can do for you.
7:05. Let's get an update on the roads now in the Alarm Detection System Traffic Center with Al.
Thanks, Mike. On 8094 eastbound at Klein, we have a rolled over dump truck. It's partially blocking the exit ramp, so people are getting by, but expect a slowdown there. On the Edens inbound, it's half hour from Lake Cook to the Kennedy Junction, 24 back out to Lake Cook. Kennedy in an hour 2 to downtown, 52 back out to the airport. Eisenhower's an hour 2 into the post office and 43 out to Route 390. Stevenson, 58 into Lakeshore Drive, 44 on the return trip. 55 northbound, that backs up from Veterans Parkway to Joliet, where there's an accident on the left shoulder. And the Dan Ryan inbound, 37 to downtown, no outbound delays. 57 in, that's heavy from 127th to the Ryan Bishop Ford. Slows inbound from 115th. And Lakeshore Drive northbound from the Stevenson to Jackson, traffic's backing up. Tri-State northbound heavy from the Reagan to about North Avenue. Traffic answers when you need the most. I'm Al Verdi on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Breezy today with a passing morning shower or two, then clouds give way to some sun, high 65. Clear night, low 51. Sun and clouds tomorrow, high 78. Then partly cloudy with a late night shower tomorrow night, low 64. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560. The Answer.
67 at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Grow My Retirement with Bill Geiger of Geiger Wealth. Tune in Saturday afternoons at 2 for Grow My Retirement with Bill Geiger of Geiger Wealth.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. It's primary day in California today, and it's really interesting. There's a couple of sort of important storylines. Well,
Yeah,
one
especially
really
Orange County. What a bizarre voting procedure that is.
Well, they have a jungle primary system, so the top two finishers are in a runoff, so it could be two Democrats, it could be two Republicans. The same thing at the statewide level. So there, on the one hand, there's the substantive issue of the Democrats' path to a congressional majority running through California, where there are 7 Republican-held seats where the residents there in each of those 7 voted for Hillary Clinton over Trump in 2016. So they see a lot of upside potential for gain, 7 GOP-held seats that went for Hillary Clinton. So that's the substantive part of it. The bizarre part of it is John Cox
I know.
could be in a runoff with the former Mr. Guilfoyle for California governor.
I know him. I know his wife. It's very bizarre.
John Cox was
He ran for Senate here, and he paid people to stand behind him and hold signs while one time I was doing a live shot at Channel 5.
Well, to be fair, I
that's-
mean, President Trump literally did the same at his announcement.
I mean, it's not illegal or anything. It just feels wrong.
So, John Cox, for those who don't remember, was sort of a perennial candidate for the first part of this century in Illinois, perennial Republican candidate. In 2000, he ran in the open seat in the 10th Congressional District for Congress up on the North Shore when John Porter retired, part of like 10 or 11 candidates in that race. Then in 2002, he ran for the Republican nomination for U.S. Senate, which Jim Durkin won before he got slaughtered by Dick Durbin. Then in 2004, he ran against Gene Moore for Cook County Recorder of Deeds.
I know.
Then
I used to joke around with him, call him Jim Oberweis.
well,
Like, are you the dude, like Jim Oberweis too?
Jim Oberweis, state senator now, so I don't know, maybe John Cox, governor of California. Then he about that time or shortly thereafter, he left for California, and then in 2006, he announced his candidacy for the Republican nomination for United States president for the 2008 campaign. He ran for president in 2008.
Yes.
Not that anybody knew it. But it did generate, he tried to get into the Republican Party debates, and it generated this fascinating piece by Matt Labash over at the Weekly Standard, who was a great writer. It was very entertaining. He couldn't get in to the debates. So, but Matt Labash was, shadowing him. So instead, and this is all recounted in his piece at the Weekly Standard, the sane fringe candidate, they watched the debate from John Cox's hotel room together, and John Cox would tell Matt Labash how he would have answered the question that the actual Republican candidates in the debate they were watching on television were getting. And now he's a self-made guy, and I respect his success in business, and I knew him fairly well for the time he was in Illinois politics, as I said, the first half of this century. But it's just bizarre.
I know his wife. That's very bizarre. Sarah Hall is her maiden name, and I remember when she first started dating him. We've got this. He's political. He's a Republican, and he wants to hold office.
Clearly,
and now it's possible. They live in San Diego right now. And he's ready to go.
Well, here's the thing.
I heard his name driving into work today. I heard it, and I said, "Is that John Cox? Is he back?"
Here's the thing I'll say about it.
Does he stand a chance?
No, he doesn't stand a chance in California. But it's interesting that he's right now pegged to finish ahead of Villagrosa, the former mayor of L.A., and face Gavin Newsom in the general election. He'll get killed, but it's kind of interesting. He is conservative.
Should we support him? I mean,
he's conservative, and he's a better Republican nominee than we have in this state. So, I guess I shouldn't be casting stones from the glass state in which I live.
Yeah, we should be supporting him.
It's just such a
so
bizarre.
I know.
And the interesting thing is the California crack-up that's going on. There was a piece in Forbes by Michael Schellenberger. This is an attack on California from the left. Number one in poverty, California isn't our most progressive state, it's our most racist one. He suggests that California is a real-life Elysium, that very mediocre Matt Damon film, where in the plot, the rich have fled to a luxury satellite orbiting Earth while the poor toil in dangerous conditions below. He suggests that California offers that in real time today. He points out just a number of things. The biggest difference between Elysium, the movie, and present-day California is that in the real-world version, Elysium residents believe they're progressive. How do they maintain that fiction? which is more detached from reality than Elysium the movie, by living in a fantasy world where California is leading the world in saving the environment and fighting racism. But in saving the environment, California progressives increased electricity rates, hurt manufacturing, and allowed carbon emissions to rise even while they declined in the rest of the U.S. And in vigorously protecting their right of their low-wage foreign servant class to remain in California while denying everybody, including them, affordable shelter, progressives aren't being generous, they're being selfish. Nobody wants to talk about it, but the truth is that California's liberal immigration laws have been good for the progressive residents of Elysium. They benefit directly from the downward pressure that low-skilled immigrants put on wages for restaurant workers, cleaners, gardeners, and drivers. The outcome of all of these supposedly progressive policies is the most racially unequal society in the whole of the United States. After decades of progressives congratulating themselves on their anti-racism low-wage workers, who are disproportionately people of color, today suffer the brunt of the state's housing, tax, and regulatory policies. And oh, by the way, you've got some Democrats in trouble in California for supporting this gas tax.
Mm-hmm. I'm still trying to process the John Cox thing. So
Well,
excuse me.
and now this is a criticism from the left. Progressives and powerful public unions reward themselves retirement benefits far beyond those of ordinary workers. More than 200,000 DMV workers, building permit employees, and other government workers collect retirement pensions at the age of 55 at a cost of $5.4 billion a year, 30 times more than was paid out in the year 2000. It's really interesting, the blue state crack-up. And a progressive finding the progressives awash in hypocrisy. And where is Illinois? Right behind, or in some cases ahead. We know what the crime rate is in Chicago versus L.A. And this story in the Tribune today, or yesterday, I believe. Chicago has more underwater homes than any other U.S. metro area. 9.1%. Is the share of homeowners across the country who are underwater on their mortgage. In Chicago, 15.5%. Worse news, 20% of Chicago's underwater homeowners owe at least twice as much as their homes are worth. So severely underwater. 253,725 homes in Chicago Metro, where the owners owe more on their mortgages than their houses are worth. A related story, the worst thing about Illinois, they've done a study. Insider.com compiled a study in conjunction with a WalletHub.com report, noting that the average household in Illinois pays $8,162 in state and local taxes annually. Which is 51st out of 50 in the nation, ahead of all 49 states and D.C., 51st out of 50 when it comes to the highest state and local tax burden in the country. The worst thing about Illinois, according to the study, what the residents say? Taxes. Now, here's some good news. Illinois is the 9th most gambling-addicted state. So we'll continue to support those casinos, those sports books, people trying to gamble their way out of their property tax bills. We're becoming Elysium. People are fleeing. Those that are left are locked here because their homes are underwater, or they're here temporarily until their kids are out of school or they retire, and then they gone. The same way people have fled California for years and years on end. Not even at the same pace that's happening in Illinois right now. Real world Elysium, the product of the progressive policies. And so you can attack this from the left or the right, but the math is inexorable. That's the interesting thing.
Math tells the story. Do you know President Trump endorsed John Cox for governor? I know I'm speaking, but he said California finally deserves a great governor, one who understands borders, crime, and lowering taxes. John Cox is a man. He'll be the best governor you've ever had, Trump wrote on Twitter. I fully endorse John Cox for governor and look forward to working with him to make California great again.
Yeah, you won't hear him saying the same thing about Rauner, that's for sure.
No, yeah, where's that endorsement?
So, but going to California, you're talking about a criticism from the left of the public sector unions, the benefits they confer themselves, the hypocrisy of the Champagne socialists. And here in Illinois, where we have the highest combined state and local tax burden in the country, we find OpenTheBooks.com investigation review, 30,000 Illinois teachers making more than $100,000 a year, 20,000 of them are retired. 20,000 of them are working while the rest, about almost 12,000 are retired, pulling down six-figure pensions. 30,000 Illinois teachers, they argue, you just had the Illinois pass a new minimum wage, essentially for teachers, right? Minimum base pay of $40,000 for Illinois teachers. The new minimum wage, actually, arguably, is $100,000. 20,000 teachers currently working north of $100,000, 12,000 retired, pulling down six-figure pensions. And you want to look at some of the zip codes with the highest payouts. Lincoln Way, New Trier, Homewood, Flossmoor, Hinsdale, Lincolnshire, North Shore, Park Forest. These numbers are remarkable. Monthly payout, for example, Lawrence Willey from Lincoln Way, $27,000 a month, $331,000 pension. New Trier, Henry Rangser, $321,000. Park Forest, median household. Park Forest is a poor community.
Yes, it is.
Joyce Carmine, $290,000 pension. Real World Elysiums, California and Illinois.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Can we do the love story next? Maybe? All right. Today, AM showers, morning showers. That's what we can also
Bring
call
May
it.
flowers.
Yes. Otherwise, it's going to be breezy and cooler with clouds breaking in the afternoon for some sunshine, a high of 65 degrees. Tonight, clear, a low of 51, so you can open up the windows, turn off the AC. And tomorrow, warmer with some sun and clouds, a high of 78. Let's get right to him. He's the man, Al Verde. Mr. Green is in for Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy. Dan, on Veterans Memorial, northbound jams up between 55 and 63rd because of an earlier accident. 8094. Eastbound at Klein, we have a rolled over dump truck. It's on the exit ramp, but people are getting by. On the Edens inbound, it's a 24-minute ride from Lake Cook to Montrose. Slows a little bit from Peterson. Outbound, no real delays to speak of. Kennedy Inn is in hour 1. O'Hare to downtown, 54 back out to the airport. Eisenhower in hour 3 into the post office, 51 out to 390. Stevenson in hour 2 into Lakeshore Drive, 44 back out to 355. 55 northbound is jammed from Weber to Joliet because of an earlier accident, about a 69-minute trip from 47 to 53. And Dan Ryan in, we're looking at about 40 minutes from 95th to downtown. Outbound is moving very well. I'm Al Verde in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
If you're a business owner, you've experienced your fair share of emergencies, and they always seem to happen at the worst time. Wouldn't it be nice to have someone on call 24/7 to help for whatever may come up? It's not possible for every emergency, but it is available for your business's IT and computer systems. With the support agreement, Turnkey IT will keep your computer system online and running with no worries. If an emergency does pop up, Turnkey is prompt and responsive without charging an enormous after-hours rate. The certified pros at Turnkey IT, they proactively keep your business computer systems online with remote and on-site support. And right now, for a limited time, you can save up to $500 a month on a support contract, plus unlimited cloud backup at no cost. Enjoy the secure feeling of your network being supported by Turnkey IT 24/7. For more information and to sign up, visit turnkey.pro. That's turnkey.pro.
A good parking lot is essential to a good building and a good business.
This is Kevin Berquist. My company is SKC Construction, home of GreatParkingLots.com. Great parking lots. The name says it all. We make your parking lot great. We are an industry leader in seal coating. You can trust our company to do the work for your company. We have the same traditional values as you. We use a process and application that makes sure you get a great job that lasts a long time. I guarantee you'll have a good experience. Check it out, GreatParkingLots.com.
Go to GreatParkingLots.com. Schedule a free inspection and get a quote to make your parking lot a great parking lot. Special early season discounts if you act now. Save the expense. Fix, don't replace. Contact SKC Construction now for commercial parking lot seal coating and maintenance. SKC Construction, home of GreatParkingLots.com. GreatParkingLots.com.
Gentlemen, June is Men's Health Month. You know your numbers. You may know your blood pressure and cholesterol, but do you know your testosterone and prostate numbers? I know mine. I went to Low T Center. They made it quick and easy. You get your results in about 20 minutes. At Low T Center, most health insurance is accepted. They'll even verify insurance for you. Low T Center's physicians have been exclusively diagnosing and treating men for low testosterone for years. And in honor of Men's Health Month, Low T Center is offering a special testosterone and prostate level test for just $50. Take advantage of this offer, especially if you haven't met your deductible yet, or you have a high copay, or simply don't have insurance. If you've noticed a decline in energy or motivation, you may have low testosterone. Low T makes you feel tired and grumpy, can raise your cholesterol and cause weight gain. Low T Center's experienced medical staff will educate you on the benefits and risks of testosterone replacement. So do what I did. Get your numbers checked. You owe it to yourself. Call 312-239-3427. Tell them Dan Prof sent you. That's 312-239-3427. Call 312-239-3427 or go to lowtcenter.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule. Thousands of doctors, health specialists, and professionals recommend Balance of Nature as a way of improving their health. Listen to a few unsolicited success stories from doctors that not only recommend it, but use Balance of Nature as well.
In my practice, I was getting to the point where I couldn't have the strength to see that many patients anymore. I was diagnosed with sarcoidosis. It really affected my breathing and the strength that I had. And I was introduced to the fruits and veggies. Just slowly, my strength started to come back. And it was because of the good nutrition. I can't say enough good for Balance of Nature and what it's done for me. I recommend it to everybody.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Hey guys, Ken here from the Business Accelerator podcast, Today's Growth. If you had to choose a vehicle to take you up the rocky side of a mountain, would you choose a Ferrari or a Jeep? The Ferrari's faster, cooler, maybe even sexier, but if you have to get to the top, the Jeep's a better bet. I think we can agree getting to the top is not about the driver, it's the vehicle. Have you noticed people often pick their financial vehicle like they pick their cars? Washington Post shared that only 1 out of 4 people choose a job that uses their college degree. Why? Simple. Something more immediate, maybe cooler, maybe even sexier came along first. Shouldn't the main deciding factors for revenue generation be production or output? Should the cool factor have any weight in choosing someone's income? If getting to the top of the financial mountain is mission critical for you, why not add a few Jeeps to your garage? Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that makes it to the top every time? If so, you have to see the Jeeps lined up at IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, you're talking about California and Illinois being real-world Elysiums. Let's stick in the Midwest Elysium. We talked about this last year when it happened. Former long-time 12-year state rep from Glen Ellen, Republican, Sandy Peehouse, was arrested for shoplifting at Von Maur in Lombard.
What were they stealing?
She stole $571 worth of clothing from Von Maur. Store employees and police said she later came back and attempted to return those items.
Oh, to make money. Obviously.
She initially pled not guilty. On Monday, she pled guilty, but did not essentially admit to what she had done. In a statement, she said, listen, this is...
All right,
oh, this is
all
good.
right, I need to hear
this. Is good.
Because she could be a kleptomaniac, or she could just be desperate for money.
Yeah, I don't think it's either. I trust that my long history of service to the community, service guided always by integrity and generosity, speaks for itself.
Oh.
If it speaks for itself, I guess you wouldn't need to reference it because it doesn't exist.
How long was she a state rep?
12 years.
Oy.
So that means she's got a taxpayer-funded pension.
Oh, so how much was she looking at after 12 years?
Too much. My long history of service to the community, that's how the ruling class Pauls think of themselves vis-a-vis you. She was a teachers union-backed big government Republican hack, who, by the way, of course, was supported by Jim Durkin and the establishment Republicans, the House Republican leader. And I backed Peter Breen, the now state rep, who defeated her in a primary in 2014. Now it turned out to be Jim Durkin's floor leader. It's so hilarious. Big government Republican hacks and their ruling class mentality. The Sandy Pihos mentality is what has ruled the roost in the Republican Party for the last 50 years. And it's why Illinois is going the way of California, which is to say, one-party state, no functional Republican Party, just a few Republican kleptocrats in office running around getting their table scraps from the Democrats and being satisfied with that. Sandy Pihos, I trust my long history of service to the community, service always guided by integrity and generosity, speaks for itself, says the convicted shoplifter.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
A big win for Jack Phillips, a small win for religious liberty. We'll talk about the Masterpiece Cake Shop case with Georgetown law professor Randy Barnett at 7:37.
Oh, and looky here, bedtime stories for grown-ups. Oh, there's an app for that. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
65 degrees at 7:30. One man is dead, 2 others hospitalized after they were shot on Chicago's west side. Authorities this morning say the victims were standing in an empty lot early this morning near 5th and Pulaski when they were approached and 4 opened fire. One of the victims died at a nearby hospital. No arrests have been made. Fire crews mopping up after an apartment blaze on Chicago's north side. Fire broke out this morning in the 1700 block of West Toohey. So far, Chicago Fire says one woman has died in the fire, another resident critically hurt. A hunch from a retired detective helped lead police to a man suspected of shooting 6 to death in Phoenix, some of whom were connected to his divorce. Authorities say after the assailant killed himself with officers closing in, they uncovered that 56-year-old Dwight Jones's victims included a well-known forensic psychiatrist who testified against him in court in 2010, 2 paralegals who worked for the law office that represented Jones's wife in the divorce, and a marriage and divorce counselor who was apparently targeted in a case of mistaken identity. That unexpected twist, the suspect's ex-wife, Connie Jones, says her husband, a retired Phoenix police detective, made the connection between her divorce and the crime scenes. The head of Guatemala's National Forensic Sciences Institute now says 69 have been killed in the volcanic eruption in that country. 17 have been identified. There are primaries in 8 states today. Voters casting ballots across the land: California, Alabama, Iowa, Mississippi, Montana, New Mexico, South Dakota. Chicago Fire Department is mourning the loss of another firefighter this week. Firefighter Brian Schofield was among 2 killed Sunday night in a fiery wrong-way crash on I-57 near Country Club Hills. A 5-year-old boy remains in critical condition following a shooting in Ford Heights. The boy is recovering in Comer Children's Hospital. That incident is under investigation. And NASA says this morning they have a big announcement about something discovered by the Mars Curiosity rover. Space Agency is says anyone who reveals this secret will not be happy with them. It involves new science results, details not released until 2 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursday. The rover has been roaming the red planet, you may recall, since 2012. Cubs and Phillies tonight. White Sox battle the Twins in a rare twilight doubleheader at Target Field. The news, a service of Accountemps, finding highly skilled accounting and finance professionals well, can be a challenge. Accountemps can help. With Accountemps' extensive network of accounting and finance contractors, you can be sure to find the right person for your exact hiring needs. Visit Accountemps.com to learn more. Accountemps, a Robert Half company. 6:34, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager gives you the truth when the mainstream media won't.
With its decision to ban kneeling during the national anthem, critics are accusing the NFL of prioritizing being in the good financial graces of mainstream America over the social justice passions of its players. This is mainstream media. This is a lie. What matters to us is honoring what is deserving of honor.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, a family tradition since 1897.
Right now, are you sitting in your home afraid to go out in public? Afraid to be seen in a restaurant? Afraid to talk or smile knowing those dentures will fall out at any minute? I'm Dr. Howard Cooper from Excellence in Dentistry, and we can handle all your worries. We have a complete in-house denture lab, and we're here to help you smile and eat with all the confidence again. Every day I see folks like Mary, whose family didn't know where else to turn. Mary's been losing weight and wouldn't eat with her ill-fitting dentures. After talking with Mary, we realized that not only did her denture not fit well, but she hated the way it made her look. We fabricated a new denture that day, and we designed it with Mary's concerns in mind. The smile on her face when we finished conveyed the greatest feeling of all. Mary not only looked beautiful, but she was happy and couldn't wait to get downstairs and hit the restaurant. Mary is happy and her family is happy. That's what we do for our patients. We change their lives. Call us at 847-244-4000 for your free consultation. Don't hide in your house any longer. Enjoy your summer with a new smile and a new outlook on life. Again, call us at 847-244-4000. We are located in Gurnee at Washington and 21 in Saratoga Square. Excellence in Dentistry, creating excellence one smile at a time.
7:35 and a check of the roads. Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center time. In for Jim, here's Al.
Thanks, Mike. We're still dealing with this rolled over dump truck. It's on the exit ramp to Klein Avenue from 8094 eastbound, but traffic is able to get around it. On the Edens inbound, it's 24 Lake Cook to Montrose, 27 back out to Lake Cook Road. Kennedy in a full hour to downtown, 54 back out to O'Hare, not much better there. The Eisenhower in, that's an hour 4 to the post office, 52 out to 390 from downtown. Stevenson in, an hour 11 to Lakeshore Drive, 42 back out to 355. Dan Ryan's 38 into downtown, outbound no delays. 57 inbound heavy from 115th to the Ryan Bishop Ford inbound from the Stony Island feeder. Traffic is backed up. Traffic's the service of Lowe's. Pro customers at Lowe's save 5% every day when you use your Lowe's business credit card. That's 5% on all purchases in-store or online, subject to credit approval, U.S. only. Traffic answers when you need the most. I'm Al Verity on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next, and your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Could be a morning shower or two, otherwise breezy and cooler. Clouds will break for a bit of afternoon sun and a high near 67. Currently 67 degrees at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 on your mobile device. Now available on iHeartRadio. Online at iHeartRadio.com.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues now. And make sure to stay tuned to catch me, Mike Gallagher, coming up at 9, only on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. When these controversies over same-sex marriages, same-sex ceremonies arose several years back, about the time of the Masterpiece Cake Shop case in 2012 in Denver, Steven Crowder of Jesse Waters. Are they the same person? They seem like it to me.
You know what?
Steven Crowder did a little experiment. He went to a number of Muslim-owned bakeries in Dearborn, Michigan, and asked the same question or made the same demand that was made of Jack Phillips at Masterpiece Cake Shop in Denver. And here's how that went.
What's really important is getting the picture and the writing. So it's going to be me and Benny. Well, you have pictures there.
No, on the machine you have in Kroger.
In Kroger?
Yeah.
Like the grocery store?
No.
Where you would tell me to go somewhere across the street. And I wanted to say Ben and Stephen forever on the top. And then on the bottom it'll say, same-sex legal now, congratulations. But everyone keeps sending me somewhere else. They said this is what you do here.
No, I don't want it.
It just seems weird that you would send me to Oh, I don't, okay, well, let's even say no picture, but you can write on it, Ben loves Stephen forever, and have our hands maybe holding.
No.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
So ultimately, some of the Muslim-owned bakeries, cake shops, agreed to do the cake, and some did not.
Okay.
In 2015, a Christian activist named Bill Jack walked into 3 separate bakeries, one an erotic-themed shop, and asked for each to design a cake in the shape of a Bible. One side saying, God hates sin, with the citation, Psalms 45:7. The other, homosexuality is a detestable sin, from Leviticus. On another cake, Jack requested that the bakery inscribe a Bible verse on one side, while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us, Romans 5:8. On the other side, God loves sinners. In all instances, the proprietors refused to take the project, refused to bake the cakes. And as David Harsanyi writes in The Federalist, and why should any American be forced to create something that clashes against their conscience? And isn't that the point in the Masterpiece Cake Shop v. Colorado Civil Rights Commission case? Jack Phillips, on the occasion of his victory yesterday, penned an op-ed for the USA Today, saying, writing, as a cake artist who owns my shop, I've always been willing to serve everyone who walks through my doors, but it doesn't mean that I create every cake requested of me. And he goes on to say, if I'm asked to design a cake that celebrates an event or expresses a message in conflict with my faith, I'm obliged as a matter of conscience to decline, but I still offer those customers anything else in my shop and tell them that I'd gladly create them a cake for a different occasion, which is exactly what he did for the 2 gentlemen who demanded he make a cake for their same-sex wedding. I can't do that, but I can sell you brownies, I can do this, I can do that. Not good enough, because they were, looking to use Jack Phillips as an example. This is politicized from the start, of course. People say, just make the cake. Just make it. What's the big deal? Just make the cake. To that, Jack Phillips responds, those folks fail to understand that as an artist, I pour my heart into my wedding cakes, and that my conscience will not allow me to celebrate something in direct conflict with my faith. And the other thing he said, writes about, in addition to losing 40% of his business and facing death threats because he dares to disagree, he dares to abide his faith tradition. This is an interesting perspective he offers. The Colorado Civil Rights Commission, the government, ordered me not only to stop doing the wedding work I love, but also to teach my remaining employees, all of whom are my family members, that I was wrong to operate my shop consistent with my faith. In other words, the state told me to tell my mother that the faith she taught me has no business influencing my life. The state telling me I'm wrong in terms of how I operate my shop and to live my life according to my faith. Remarkable. And by the way, Clarence Thomas warned that these such cases would come to pass after the Obergefell decision, that same-sex marriage was going to run headlong into religious liberty, and it has. And in this case, to be clear, the Supreme Court found the Colorado Civil Rights Commission's conduct to be bigoted and essentially beyond the pale, but they focused on the Civil Rights Commission's conduct. They didn't make a broader statement about religious liberty protections under the First Amendment, and thus the 7-2 kind of walk-away decision. For more on this topic, we're pleased to be joined by Georgetown law professor and author of Our Republican Constitution, Securing the Liberty and Sovereignty of We the People. He is Randy Barnett. Randy, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
It's great to be here, Dan and Amy, and I'm hungry. I want some cake.
Yes. Well, that depends what the message is on your cake.
Every time I hear about the cake shop cake, I taste all these delicious cakes.
Yes, salivating.
It makes me want a cake.
Right, of course. Well, Jack Phillips is up and running. So what about the import of this case, given its sort of narrow holding that really pertains to Jack Phillips and maybe not a lot more?
Yeah, it's a very narrow holding because, and this was telegraphed in oral argument. I think I mentioned to you on your program right after oral argument.
Mm-hmm.
It's a narrow holding based on the animosity or animus that was manifested by some of the commissioners who were deciding Jack Phillips' case. And this was actually something that came up a lot in oral argument. Justice Kennedy expressed his concern about that, and then immediately after that, Justices Alito and Gorsuch underscored that by other evidence in the record that showed this animosity. And that ultimately is how the case came out. So if there's another case where the government shows this kind of animosity in the future, then that's covered by this one. If the government is more careful and cautious and doesn't say the things that these commissioners said about religion, then Challenger is going to have a much harder time. In this case, will be of limited help. Not of no help necessarily, but of limited help.
So what does this mean for, owners of small businesses? Say if you're a photographer or a florist or a makeup artist or a hairstylist and you don't want to take part in a same-sex wedding, are they protected in any way because of this ruling?
I would say they're not really protected by this ruling yet, but there hasn't been an adverse Supreme Court ruling to theirs. In other words, they're not protected by this ruling, but the court has not ruled against them either. That might happen in a future case, but I would probably advise them to just tell the customer that they are fully booked up and they're busy. If they start citing their religious objections, they may very well find themselves in Jack Phillips's position, and then at that point they're going to be in a protracted lawsuit.
Justice Anthony Kennedy, of course, who wrote the majority opinion in Obergefell, which was literally an opinion, like an op-ed, not a legal document, continues with his op-ed writing, in this case saying, recognizing that these disputes must be resolved with tolerance, without undue respect to sincere religious beliefs, and without subjecting gay persons to indignities when they seek goods and services in an open market. That's not much of a legal standard. That requires a lot of Solomonic decision-making on a case-by-case basis, doesn't it?
Yeah, but that itself doesn't make it objectionable if, in fact, the Constitution is limited to protecting persons from intentional discrimination. You have to examine the motives for a particular ruling. We have that in our anti-discrimination laws generally. Employers are only held guilty of discrimination if they intended. Let's say they adopt a test, but they and do so intended to restrict people on the basis of race, even if they don't say so. The courts will inquire into intent, and that's essentially what Justice Kennedy is doing here. He did a similar thing in the Hialeah case, in which there was a law passed that banned the sacrifice of animals. Why? Because one particular religion was doing it, and he saw that there was evidence in the record that showed that this law was aimed at them. It had animus towards that religion. He said that's barred by the First Amendment.
The problem, it seems to me, though, and Clarence Thomas touched on this in his dissent in Obergefell, is, and I'll just borrow from Justice Thomas's words, the decision rejects the idea, captured in the Declaration of Independence, that human dignity is innate, and suggests instead that it comes from the government. This distortion of our Constitution not only ignores the text, it inverts the relationship between the individual and the state in our republic. Do you agree with that?
Well, I agree with that statement that Justice Thomas made about dignity isn't given by government. It's something one has, and government can't take it away. It doesn't really help us in this case very much. This case was about whether a law of general application, which is an anti-discrimination law, would apply to Jack Phillips, or whether the First Amendment, free exercise of religion, or freedom of speech provisions would somehow exempt him. It did protect him up to a point. It protected him from explicit animosity towards religion. That's not nothing, and there are possibly other cases like the Arlene Flower case, which is going to also have evidence of such biases. But if government is cautious and doesn't express these opinions, a challenger is going to have a much harder row to hoe, and this case isn't going to help them. They're going to have to appeal their own case to a court that might have a different makeup by the time a case like that got to the court.
Well, right, yeah, and so the question is, what kind of case? I guess the fact pattern of a case where the Supreme Court could establish a precedent in these matters that has a broader application. I mean, so if the Colorado Civil Rights Commission had been polite rather than kind of openly and bigotedly hostile to Jack Phillips, the case could have turned out differently, and that would have had perhaps more sweeping implications in terms of restricting religious liberty.
Yes, it could have turned out differently, but because that case wasn't before the court, we can't be 100% sure that it would turn out differently. Justice Gorsuch argued why it shouldn't turn out differently, in part because regardless of what their statements were, the Commission and the Court of Appeals treated other examples of bakers refusing to deliver cakes they thought were offensive differently than this cake. And so that differential treatment was also problematic, according to Justice Gorsuch. So the point is we just don't have an opinion on the ultimate issue. But I think supporters of free exercise of religion are going to be satisfied or happy to take this half alone, for half a cake, we should say, because half a cake is better than no cake at all, which is what would have happened if it had come out the other way.
So it was a 7-2 decision.
We should also, you asked that question because that's where I was going next.
Yes, and have ice cream with your cake. 7-2 decision. I mean, Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Sonia Sotomayor are the only two that dissented. Is this some ray of hope when these cases come up before the Supreme Court in the future?
It suggests that Justice Kagan and Justice Breyer, who actually not just concurred, they joined Justice Kennedy's opinion, making it a 7-2 opinion, agreed that local governments cannot express animosity towards religion, and if they rule based on that animosity, that's unconstitutional under the First Amendment, even though the law they were enforcing was general. So that's a good thing that we have a 7-2 decision like that. It takes away some of the political valence against this decision, but it doesn't get us all the way. And Justice Kagan, in her concurring opinion, explains that as long as there's no expressed animosity, then the case would have come out differently as far as she's concerned.
An interesting response from one representative of the other viewpoint is this Jennifer Finney Boylan op-ed in the New York Times. She's apparently an academic at Barnard College and also a trans woman. She suggests something that the president and chief executive of GLAAD, which is a gay rights group, has proposed, which is the Dignity Amendment. The Dignity Amendment to the Constitution: equality of rights under the law shall not be abridged by the United States by any state on account of sex, sexual orientation, or gender identity, quote unquote. The Dignity Amendment. Do we need a dignity? I mean, need, I guess, is perhaps the wrong way to say it, but is there anything in the proposed Dignity Amendment that isn't covered by the 14th Amendment?
Well, I really haven't I haven't read the amendment. I really don't know what it says, and I haven't given it any thought. So I tend to decline to answer questions, counsel, until I have had a chance to reflect on it a little longer.
So be that way.
But I mean, it's more of a general statement of principle, though, that the 5th and 14th Amendments guarantee equal protection of the law for all Americans, regardless of their race, gender, orientation, and the like, right?
Look, I think the Due Process Clause, which really ought to be called the Due Process of Law Clause, in both the 5th Amendment and the 14th Amendment, protects citizens from arbitrary rule. Mm-hmm. That is, rule that's based on no reason at all, or a reason that's bad a reason that's not within Congress's power or the state's power to legislate. So, yeah, I think that the 14th Amendment already protects individuals, same-sex individuals and other individuals, against arbitrary or irrational discrimination. That's my reading of the 14th Amendment, and we don't need another amendment to say that any better.
He is Randy Barnett, Georgetown law professor, by way of Chicago, I'll add, and author of the book, Our Republican Constitution, Securing the Liberty and Sovereignty of We the People. Professor Barnett, thanks as always for joining us. Appreciate it.
I always usually add that I grew up in Calumet City, right across the border from Indiana, and so I have to throw that in there again this time.
All right, Cal City, Sin City.
I know. Well, I was going to just say Cal City, not Sin
All
City.
right. Now that Randy's left, it's no longer Sin City. Thanks, Randy. Appreciate it.
Bye.
You've joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Nowadays, there's an app for everything, and here's one that's a must-have if you golf. It's the Bolingbrook Golf Club mobile app, and it'll enhance your golf experience. You can book tee times at Bolingbrook Golf Club. There's an interactive scorecard, golf games, a GPS, latest news from the club, even a food and beverage menu, Facebook sharing, and more. Just about everything you need for your golf game besides the clubs is in the palm of your hand with the new Bolingbrook Golf Club mobile app. Go to bolingbrookgolfclub.com/contact/download our app. bolingbrookgolfclub.com/contact/download our app. And download today.
Are you ready to take your golf game to the elite level? The Bolingbrook Elite Athlete Training Program, or BEAT, is the highest level of training designed to maximize potential and develop highly skilled players. You'll learn from the Bolingbrook Golf Club's world-class instructors. They've designed practice schedules and content to maximize player development. For the athlete that aspires to compete and train at the highest levels, check out BEAT, Bolingbrook Elite Athlete Training. More info at bolingbrookgolfclub.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule. Thousands of doctors, health specialists, and professionals recommend Balance of Nature as a way of improving their health. Listen to a few unsolicited success stories from doctors that not only recommend it, but use Balance of Nature as well.
I look at Balance of Nature and I look what it's doing for me as I've started taking it, and for the patients that I have that are taking it, it's been phenomenal watching the changes that have happened and how much healthier and how much more energy that they have. I haven't heard any negative feedback from any of my patients who have been taking the product. The thing that amazes me with it is that it's so simple.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Hey, homeowners often say their basement leaks only when it rains. Well, you don't worry about your living room getting wet, do you? Then why do you want to worry about your basement? Permaseal believes that your basement should be dry all of the time, no matter how hard it rains. That's right. You can have a permanently dry basement. So give Permaseal a call at 800-421-SEAL. They offer a free estimate and transferable warranty, so you can rest assured you're getting the best value. Back in 1979, Roy Spencer started Permaseal, and it's still a local Chicagoland business whose purpose is to make the world a better place, one basement or crawl space at a time. Your basement is already dry some of the time, but if you want your basement dry all of the time, you know who to call. Permaseal, 800-421-SEAL. That's 800-421-7325, or go to permaseal.net.
If you have pain, listen up, Dennis Prager here. You don't need to live in pain. Let me repeat that. You don't have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, whether it's from an accident or pain that just develops. So Chicagoland, you're in luck. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the nation's most respected and successful pain doctors. He's been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Bottom line, he's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido of Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists will help you get off pain medication and all of its side effects. How? By finding the source of your chronic pain and fixing it.
This is Ken Candido of Chicago Anesthesia Pain Specialists. Let's make you pain-free.
Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain, and you can be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info you need at mypainchicago.com.
Nowadays, there's an app for everything, and here's one that's a must-have if you golf. It's the Bolingbrook Golf Club mobile app, and it'll enhance your golf experience. You can book tee times at Bolingbrook Golf Club. There's an interactive scorecard, golf games, a GPS, latest news from the club, even a food and beverage menu, Facebook sharing, and more. Just about everything you need for your golf game besides the clubs is in the palm of your hand with the new Bolingbrook Golf Club mobile app. Go to bolingbrookgolfclub.com/contact/download our app. BolingbrookGolfClub.com/contact/download our app and download today.
Are you ready to take your golf game to the elite level? The Bolingbrook Elite Athlete Training Program, or BEAT, is the highest level of training designed to maximize potential and develop highly skilled players. You'll learn from the Bolingbrook Golf Club's world-class instructors. They've designed practice schedules and content to maximize player development. For the athlete that aspires to compete and train at the highest levels, check out BEAT, Bolingbrook Elite Athlete Training. More info at BolingbrookGolfClub.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Some breaking news. Miss America is what, Dan? They've scrapped
As
the
the show's Miss America organization correspondent, I'm reporting that they have scrapped the swimsuit and evening gown competitions in the wake of the Me Too movement.
Why don't they just answer the questions in a swimsuit? Or do their talent in an evening gown? This is going to be boring.
Well, they're going to judge women the way that I judge them, based on their brains.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We'll get your reactions to this breaking news story and what Gretchen Carlson has to say about it at 8:08.
And later, New York City proposing non-gender birth certificates. Could it happen here? But first, into the newsroom we go. Here's Mike Scott.
1 killed, 2 wounded in a West Side shooting. A fire breaks out on Chicago's North Side and claims a life. CPD investigating the shooting death of an 11-year-old boy. WIND Chicago News Time is 8 o'clock.
The White House is a no-fly zone for the Eagles. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. A Super Bowl celebration this afternoon's canceled, President Trump says, over the players' lack of respect during the national anthem during games. Most players said they weren't going to show up anyway. At the White House, here's Fox's John Decker.
The president on Twitter writing the Philadelphia Eagles football team was invited to the White House. Unfortunately, only a small number of players decided to come, and we canceled the event. He continued, staying in the locker room for the playing of our national anthem is as disrespectful to our country as kneeling. Sorry, he wrote. Philadelphia's Mayor Jim Kenney slammed President Trump as not a true patriot and a fragile egomaniac for disinviting the team. The president announcing on Twitter, we will proudly be playing the national anthem and other wonderful music celebrating our country today at 3 p.m. Chris?
Well, John, thanks. The president's former campaign manager, Paul Manafort, could have his bail revoked and go to jail. He's accused of witness tampering in his criminal case. Prosecutors working for special counsel Robert Mueller say Manafort and an associate repeatedly contacted 2 witnesses trying to get them to lie and keep their stories straight. Manafort's on house arrest, accused of acting as an unregistered foreign agent by lobbying on behalf of Ukrainian interests. He's pled not guilty. It's the Super Tuesday of the 2018 primaries, with voters in 8 states casting ballots.
California is considered the main event tonight, but there are House, Senate, and gubernatorial contests in Alabama, Iowa, Mississippi, New Mexico, Montana, New Jersey, and South Dakota.
Fox's Jared Halpern. There will be no more swimsuit competition at the Miss America pageant and no more judging based on appearance. Top pageant officials were replaced after a scandal in December where past winners were badmouthed in emails about their intelligence, looks, and sex lives. Miss America started as a bathing beauty contest in Atlantic City in 1921. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Skies are cloudy. 67 degrees at 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. 1 man is dead, 2 others hospitalized after being shot on Chicago's West Side. Authorities say the victims were standing in an empty lot this morning near 5th and Pulaski when 4 others approached and opened fire. Fire crews battled an apartment blaze on Chicago's North Side. Fire broke out this morning in the 1700 block of West Touhy Avenue. So far, Chicago Fire says 1 woman has passed away in the fire. Another resident was critically hurt. Governor Rauner says he doesn't like everything in his $38 billion budget he signed into law, and he's got some details. As AM 560's David Stewart reports.
Signing the budget frees lawmakers to face their re-election campaigns without being tied to Springfield throughout the summer again this year. As for this budget, Rauner says lawmakers should have used the rising revenues from federal tax changes to cut state income taxes.
We're actually spending those savings in this budget, and we don't have debt pay down or tax reductions. Those are 2 ways that this budget is not what I would like to see, and I think, frankly, what the people of Illinois need to see. But it's a compromise, and it moves the state forward.
He says he has not abandoned his anti-union turnaround agenda. David Stewart, NBC News Radio, Chicago.
Chicago sports, Cubs and Phillies open up a 3-game set at Wrigley tonight. Sox begin a 4-game series against the Twins with a rare twilight doubleheader at Target Field. 8:03, time for the AM 560 Business Beat. From the Fox Business Network, here is Ginny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, Apple shares rose to a record yesterday during the first day of the company's Worldwide Developers Conference. Apple unveiled new controls that let you limit the time you spend on iPhones and iPads. There's also a new Shortcuts app that connects the Siri voice command with some apps. Twitter stock is replacing Monsanto in the S&P 500. Shares of the social media company rallied following the announcement. The change takes effect prior to the market open on Thursday. Monsanto is going away, being absorbed in the merger with Bayer. You'll be seeing more self-service kiosks at McDonald's. The chain is adding the machines to 1,000 of its restaurants each quarter for the next 2 years. Chief Executive Steve Easterbrook says the kiosks will allow you to order and pay and customize your own food options. The Dow up 178 yesterday. NASDAQ gained 52 to a record. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Ginny Cosola.
It's 8:04, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Sean Hannity says the collusion investigation could have been much easier.
Why didn't they ever go to the Trump campaign? And if James Comey was so upset in the spring of 2016, why didn't James Comey go to President Trump and say, look, we're watching this guy. He's associated with your campaign. Boom. Case over. Close up shop, Robert Mueller.
The Sean Hannity Show. Afternoons at 2, right before Joel Walsh at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
Hey, Chicago. It's been a long, rough winter. Here at Spring Rock Gutter Guards, we've been getting a ton of calls from frustrated homeowners experiencing gutter damage caused by heavy ice and snow. Now that it's raining, their gutters are leaking and overflowing. Not good. That's why for the month of June only, when you purchase your Spring Rock Gutter Guard system, we are going to upgrade a section of your choice to our patented heated gutter guard system for free. You can take care of that pesky ice problem over your entry door or garage at no additional cost. Heated gutter guards from Spring Rock Gutters will give you peace of mind year-round. Clog-free when it rains, ice-free in the winter. This special gutter guard upgrade is only being offered during the month of June, so call today, 708-571-0632 to schedule your free estimate or visit springrockgutters.com for more information. Don't miss out on your free heated gutter guard upgrade. That number again is 708-571-0632. Drain your gutters, not your wallet. Visit springrockgutters.com.
All money managers may seem pretty much the same. But while some money managers may recommend high commission investment products, Fisher Investments avoids them. Some money managers may have hidden and layered fees. Fisher Investments never does. And while some money managers are happy to earn commissions from you, whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. In other words, we're structured to be on your side. Maybe that's why most of our clients come to us from other money managers. Talk with us and find out why so many experienced investors are switching to and staying with Fisher Investments. Fisher Investments, clearly better money management. Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Visit us at FisherInvestments.com to find out what we can do for you.
$7:05. Let's get an update on that ride to work in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. In for Jim, here's Al.
Thanks, Mike. Well, on 8094 eastbound at Klein, we're still dealing with that rolled over dump truck on the exit ramp, but now they've got the exit ramp shut. Small fuel spill they're having to clean up, plus getting the dump truck out of there. So you could use either the Kennedy or Burr exit in the meantime. On the Edens inbound, we don't have any more delays. Outbound is heavy, though, from Montrose to Lake. 32 minutes from Montrose out to Lake Cook. Kennedy in, that's a full hour. O'Hare to downtown, 49 back out. Eisenhower in, an hour 6 to the post office, 47 out to 390. Stevenson in, that's an hour 10 from 355 to Lakeshore Drive, and back out is 40 minutes. And the Dan Ryan in, 43 to downtown. Outbound, no real delays. Traffic service of Lowe's, Pro customers at Lowe's save 5% every day when you use your Lowe's Business Credit Card. That's 5% on all purchases in-store or online, subject to credit approval, U.S. only. Traffic answers when you need the most. I'm Al Verdi on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center with meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
A passing shower or two for the morning, then clouds give way to some sun for the day, breezy and cool with a high today 65. Clear night, low 51. Tomorrow, sun and clouds, high 78. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
67 at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. And again, I don't know how to tell you this, but...
we should warn people that they might want to sit down before you deliver this news.
It's true.
But I guess we already kind of delivered it. But
branding the competition Miss America 2.0, Gretchen Carlson, formerly of Fox News.
Former Miss America.
Chairman of the Board of Trustees for the, or chairperson or woman or whatever, chair, inanimate object, whatever you want to call it. She's the chairman of the Board of Trustees for the Miss America organization. We are no longer a pageant. We are a competition, and a competition that will not include swimsuits. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro, answer line.
Come on,
64636DA, turnkey.pro, text line. Who would like to join me in applauding the Miss America organization for its enlightened decision to launch a 2.0 version in the Me Too era?
Okay, part of the beauty of a beauty pageant is knowing what's under the hood. So you got to see what's there.
You mean on the inside?
No, I mean the
Like
bate.
The heart and the mind, right?
No, I mean, it's always. I know people don't like the objectification of women, but you know what? These women are gorgeous, and they should show it off while they have it. Because ladies, later on, things are going to start sagging.
You know,
and things are going to start shifting in places that you don't particularly like. So if you're a beauty, why not show your natural self? Hey, I say go full frontal.
Full frontal. Wow. That would have been a real battle royale between you and Gretchen Carlson if you were on the board of the Miss America organization.
But honestly, is anybody upset? Or you can't talk about it though because you're a man, and then you'll look like you're.
No, I mean,
if you didn't watch it before, now really, who's going to watch it? Are they trying to drive ratings into the ground?
Well, I know we are all very opposed to the objectification of women, particularly women.
Yeah.
They don't comment on the physical appearance of women. They don't even notice other women's physical appearance.
Yes, they do. Half the people watch TV because they want to see what other women are wearing or what their hair is or how they have their makeup.
We just got over the royal wedding where nobody was paying attention to the physical appearance of Meghan Markle.
Oh, please. Everybody was paying attention to her. I mean, look at this. Can you imagine? Look at these beautiful women. Now we can't see them anywhere. So are they going to wear muumuus? Oh, maybe they'll answer the question during the interview portion of the contest wearing muumuus.
Don't the burqas maybe? Something a little
fine,
bit more.
Whatever. Shador, just, cover it all up.
Well,
the Muslims must be rejoicing. Oh, great.
The Miss America contestants tend to be in pretty good shape.
Yeah, they work hard for these awesome, beautiful bodies that we can't see anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not changing teams or anything, but I can respect a good-looking woman.
Me
and
too.
This is
for her mind.
Speaking of minds, I mean, what about? I have the best idea. During the question and answer portion, they can wear a swimsuit during that time. So if they mess up, people just look at their beautiful body and not get underneath their heads.
Recent polls have shown a fifth of Americans can't locate the U.S. on a world map. Why do you think this is?
I personally believe that U.S. Americans are unable to do so because some people out there in our nation don't have maps, and I believe that our education, such as in South Africa and the Iraq, everywhere such as,
yes, such as, sure.
I believe that they should our education over here in the U.S. should
Yeah.
help the U.S. or should help South Africa and should help Iraq
education
and
in
the
America
Asian
should help South
countries.
Africa.
So we will be able to build up our future
Yeah.
for our children.
Thank you very much.
Build up our
South
future.
Carolina.
Oh, and for
Mario
our children.
Lopez, like, they're there now. Thank you.
Mario Lopez thought it was a brilliant answer. He did think bad
He
too.
looked scared.
What is going to replace the swimsuit competition? You
Oh,
asked?
yeah. What? I'm sorry.
Mhm.
What is going to replace the swimsuit competition?
Passion.
What?
Passion.
Passion?
In a live session with the judges, the contestants from all 50 states and the District of Columbia will be asked to demonstrate their passion, intelligence, and an overall understanding of the job of Miss America. Well, let me tell you something. If anybody can demonstrate an overall understanding of the job of Miss America, then crown that woman, because I don't know what
You're
it
just
is.
a mascot. You go and speak to young women
Yeah.
to encourage them to
You're an
succeed.
inspiration, like when you used to travel around Iowa as one of the Kappa Phi Gamma girls.
I was a Kappa Gamma. I was in the women of
Phi Slamma
I was-
Gamma. What was it?
Kappa Gamma.
You and Clyde Drexler?
As Meghan Markle is as well. And no, we didn't tour the state, but we did have some appearances, at the mall, the Capitol Mall.
Now I know it because you showed this pornography in studio here. That in the calendar, the Iowa Girls calendar.
It's the women of Iowa.
Yeah, right,
We're
what you
not
said.
girls, we're women.
Right, of course.
Yeah, I wore a bikini. I
you were
donned
in
a bikini.
swimsuit.
Yeah, it was a bikini. And it was awesome.
And
It was
to be fair,
then.
as I don't want to put you on the spot and not admit to my own doing in this space. For the D&D Club of Bennett Academy, the calendar that we did.
Oh, Dungeons and Dragons?
Dungeons and Dragons Club Bennett Academy. I wear a swimsuit as well.
You did?
Yeah.
Was it a mankini? Or did you just wear the swim trunks?
It was tight
Or
in the right
do-
places. Frank in St. Charles, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, I agree with the decision. So we won't have to look at anorexic, spray-tanned, practically naked women.
Oh, I know it's
And
horrible.
Amy, you've talked about this before. What do you think of these people on the news where the man is all bundled up in a suit and tie, and then you have the
women look
news
like they're going to
babe,
cocktail parties. I know.
sleeveless, half naked, skin bare. I don't want to see your bare arms. Put some clothes on.
Well, some arms, I know. You know what, Frank? I hear you. I'll never forget. I wore a sleeveless dress once, and I was ridiculed by Phyllis Schwartz. She called. She said, "What are you doing?" I said, "It's 104 today. It was a lovely dress. My husband fell out of bed. What are you doing?" And now everybody does it. Everybody, but even in the wintertime, it looks weird, and some arms should be covered because
That's
as you
standard equipment.
Yep. As you
Okay.
remember.
Thanks for the call, Frank. You're not going to be my wingman. All
Remember
right, what?
Tharms? If
Yeah,
your
no.
arms start looking like Tharms, you might want to cover that up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A quote from Dan Proft.
All we have to do is, change human nature, and then this will all make sense. Paul in Waukesha.
Yeah, I got a decent idea, I think, and
Mm-hmm.
it'll help with the athleticism. I'm thinking maybe log rolling. How about that one?
Log rolling instead of
you
the
get, you
swimsuit.
get competition. You got two of them on there, and if they both happen to fall in the water, oh my gosh!
All right. I
okay.
see what you did there.
Huh?
Thanks for the call, Paul.
All right, here we go. So Carlson said that the new Miss America competition is more inclusive to women of all shapes and sizes. That's why they're getting rid of the swimsuit. And on their Twitter account, they had a short video of a white bikini going up in a puff of smoke with the hashtag #ByeByeBikini.
So somebody like a
So now
Rosie,
there's going to be no more Me Too movements now because of this.
somebody like a Rosie O'Donnell could be Miss America then.
Yeah, I guess so.
Hmm.
This is what we want? This is what we want to celebrate as Miss America?
Yeah, I don't.
Plus size models are not bad looking.
I don't know what Frank was
But the
talking
white-
about. I'm looking at a picture from a recent Miss America. Anorexic and stuff. They look pretty healthy to me.
Remember, the camera adds 10 pounds.
You don't have to tell me. Candace and DuPage.
I'm with Amy. Several points. Cindy Crawford was once asked, "Why do you have such a beautiful nanny?" And she said, "Because I have to look at her too." I'm with Cindy Crawford. I want to see beautiful women, not some lard, but up there. I'm not going to watch it. My two favorite parts were always the gown
the
and
evening
the
gowns.
bikini.
And swimsuit competition.
And here's why I like those two parts, because I never thought the questions were fair, because they should all be put in a booth and not be able to hear each other's answers, and should all be asked the same question, so it's apples to apples.
Thanks for the call, Candace. You know what I'd like to do is actually put Silicon Valley tech CEOs next to Miss America contestants, give them the same questions, put them in the ISO booth, and see how similar their answers are.
Okay.
Because it's always going to include the future and our children, and making the world a better place.
Maybe throw in some Africa.
Honestly.
Just for, bonus points.
So I'm not just lampooning the Miss America contestants. I'm also lampooning, Larry and Sergey at Google. James in Westmont.
Good morning, you two. Yeah, I think it should just be like a big IQ contest. What do you think? That all the ladies should just, sit at a desk and they have to answer multiple choice questions. Have the camera pan over to watch them, struggle with the answers.
Riveting.
Like, what to do about, world peace. That's what it sounds like it's going to. Is that maybe it's just me? I don't know.
Thanks for the call, James. What about doing like a firing line debate between the contestants? You split the 20 finalists up 10 and 10, and you do a fire line debate on denuclearization of North Korea. Who'd tune in for that?
I would have, only if they're wearing a swimsuit.
Exactly.
During the segment.
Joe in Lake Bluff.
Yeah, I would put them in there and do like a Sudoku contest. Maybe in Lululemon outfits and, watch them sweat while they're trying to figure out the Sudoku.
All right. Thanks, Joe. It's good ideas. A lot of good ideas.
Now for our activewear segment, Miss Pennsylvania. Isn't she great in her Lululemon crop pants and top?
Isn't that patronizing?
The dry fit.
The way you're doing a pretty good impersonation of how they introduce the contestants. Isn't that a bit patronizing?
Yeah, a little bit. And let's welcome to the stage Miss Illinois. She's currently from Decatur, Illinois, studying in journalism. She hopes one day to be an anchor on the Today Show. Do you want me to go on?
I think it should just be dudes. Steve in Downers Grove.
Yeah, that was me. Well, I'm happy with all the changes. At least we don't have any gay men in there yet. They'll probably be next year. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Steve.
Oh, boy. What if we... Oh, no. Why do you have to bring that up? Because that's going to happen. We're going to have transgender women.
Yeah, it'll be like a, once a year Sunday night thing at the Baton Club. That'll be the Miss America pageant. What's wrong with that? Cher will win every year. Some dude from Schaumburg does a Cher impersonator in Miss America. Andy in Hanover Park.
Yeah, I was going to suggest mud wrestling, but I guess I'm kind of going in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
But that Frank guy really disturbed me. I don't know what he wants to look at. But
Frank,
anyway,
Frank
I think we need
like
to we need to change the conversation and focus on how much work those girls do to get their bodies like that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time in the gym or in the yoga studio or, it's over. I can't believe this is this bad. What about Miss USA? They're still going to do it, right?
I don't know.
Uh-oh, I better check.
Yeah, all of the sponsoring organizations, the title granting organizations. Ralph and Rantoul.
Good morning. Yeah, eliminate talking altogether. That will make it much better.
No talking.
I think that for the talent competition, they should simplify it and just have basic identification of shapes like stars and circles. Maybe they could put them in those balls, where there's a bunch of plastic pieces out front.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking, since all the swimsuits going away, we're going to have the scooter crowd up there pretty soon. And then maybe for talent, we could watch them gum a steak and some corn on the cob.
Thanks for the call, Ralph. It's not bad. The rascal competition. Yeah, like an obstacle course or something. Bunch of heavy women and or men in rascals, like on a double dare course.
Oh, God.
Susan in West Chicago.
What's going on in America?
Hi.
Hi.
I feel that the Miss America contest has never been anything but a celebration of conceit.
Why?
What?
So
Why?
Why is it a celebration of conceit?
Because those girls think they're better than everybody else, and there's more beautiful women walking around on the street than on there.
Well,
They
but I mean,
choose
it,
to show off. They choose to showcase their beauty,
Yeah,
and they
it's a
want to be a princess. They want to be a queen. They
it's a
wanna be-
competition. I mean, what competition isn't a
want the
part of
crown.
display of conceit?
Well, whatever.
All right.
I guess you have a point too. It's
All right.
just the way I would never want my daughter to be doing that. I'll tell you that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's a
Thanks for
different
the call,
world.
Susan. What about your daughters and sons sexting? Does that concern you at all? Since people are so exercised about the Miss America pageant? Have you seen some of the recent studies about sexting?
No.
About how negatively impactful it is on the mental health of teenagers?
Great.
Well, I mean, it's just one of those things. Is I just, it's interesting. People get worked up about Miss America pageant, and
Because we're just trying to process this. This is breaking news.
well, I'm saying just in terms of like this sort of thing, you sort of have preformed opinions about it, and then what's going on in my backyard, I have no idea. Bob in Waukegan.
Yeah, I think that commercial they have with the bikini, the white bikini going up in smoke, I think that they're going to replace that with no ratings. High school kids, they go out and sneak Playboys because they want to read the articles. If they take the swimsuit section out of the pageant, they're going to lose every male watcher in the entire country except those who are browbeat by their wives.
It's going to be like the NFL. Yeah, thanks for the call, Bob. Lee in Hammond.
Yeah, how do you guys feel about like a Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome theme, like the Cage of Death? 2 goes in and 1 comes out.
I like that. Yeah,
about that?
like a tournament. Yeah, I like that. Thanks
Yeah,
for the call, Lee. Yeah. Now we're getting somewhere. Girls properly attired, fighting to the death.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Hey, if you're missing teeth or even a single tooth, then dental implants are a fantastic way to regain your confidence, your smile, and your dental health. Hey, Sean Hannity here. So what are you waiting for? Find out now if implants are for you. Successful implants don't come from an implant factory. Skill, treatment, installation, those are the main differences for successful lifelong implants. That's why you need to see Dr. Neruzzi at Fox River Periodontics. Dr. Neruzzi is the recommended choice of dentists that don't do implants themselves. You need the experience, the skill, and honesty that over 25 years of dental implants brings, and you're going to be happy with your implant. It's not a mass production procedure because everyone is different. And Dr. Neruzzi wants to talk to you about dental implants today.
This is Dr. Neruzzi. I personally guarantee your happiness with your implants.
Call Fox River Periodontics at 630-232-7400. They're online at implantsforme.com.
Tweet, I should say, from Amby Davis's bowling ball. To be fair, what woman cooks or cleans in a bikini or evening gown? It's
well,
true.
some people no. Some people do.
I think you're missing his point.
I know.
Gentlemen, June is Men's Health Month. You know your numbers. You may know your blood pressure and cholesterol, but do you know your testosterone and prostate numbers? I know mine. I went to Low T Center. They made it quick and easy. You'll know your results in about 20 minutes. At Low T Center, most health insurance is accepted. They'll even verify your insurance for you. Low T Center physicians have been exclusively diagnosing and treating men for low testosterone for years. And in honor of Men's Health Month, Low T is offering a special testosterone and prostate level test for just $50. Take advantage of this offer, especially if you haven't met your deductible yet, or have a high copay, or simply don't have insurance. If you notice a decline in energy or motivation, you may have low testosterone. Low T makes you feel tired and grumpy, can raise your cholesterol and cause weight gain. Low T Center's experienced medical staff will educate you on the benefits and risks of testosterone replacement. So do what I did, get your numbers checked. You owe it to yourself to call 312-239-3427. Tell them Dan Prof sent you. That's 312-239-3427, or call 312-239-3427, or go to lowtcenter.com.
Earnings vary based on your effort. Message and data rates may apply. Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses right here in Chicago? If so, we have an amazing opportunity for you. We're looking for a small group of motivated individuals to join our real estate investing team. You'll learn our simple 3-step system for flipping homes right here in the local area. This is Than Merrill, star of A&E's hit TV show Flip This House. My team and I are looking for a handful of people in the Chicago area who want to learn how to make money flipping houses in your spare time using other people's money. Chicago is a perfect market for my system, and next week I'm holding a free 2-hour educational workshop where you will learn how to make money flipping homes and how to build long-term wealth with income properties.
To get 2 free tickets to Than's workshop, text your 5-digit zip code to 82,000. Seating is extremely limited, so text your 5-digit zip code to 82,000. Text in the next 10 minutes, and you'll also reserve a free copy of Than's Money for Deals Guide. Just text your zip code to 82,000.
Save more with Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Hey, what are you doing up here on the roof? I want to tell the world I just met the woman of my dreams. What about you? I want to tell the world that Liberty Mutual saved me $782. Liberty did what? They saved me $782. Oh, you go first then. $782 really puts finding love into perspective.
Visit us online to get a quote, and you could save $782. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Based on a recent countrywide new customer survey, coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company, Equal Housing Insurer.
Protecting data across modern decentralized networks presents challenges that traditional backup solutions can't handle. At best, you'll waste time and money managing multiple solutions. At worst, gaps in coverage will leave your data vulnerable. Barracuda Backup is a single cloud-integrated solution that simplifies the backup process and allows data replication to anywhere on your network, a private cloud, Barracuda's cloud, or to the AWS public cloud. Reclaim your data. Try Barracuda Backup free at barracuda.com/backup.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I'm Mark Gastineau. I played in the NFL for 10 years. I was diagnosed with CTE, with dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. The fruits and vegetables that we take from Balance of Nature is the best thing that we could ever do. And I'm calling in now to order extra because my wife has been taking mine because she sees a difference in me. It is a wonderful thing that Balance of Nature is doing. I hear the testimonies on the radio, but I'm a testimony for myself. And the fruits and vegetables, if I don't take them every single day, my day is not going to go the same. So God bless you, and thank you for what you've done for my wife and I.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
AM 560, The Answer.
More texts on Miss America eliminating the swimsuit competition. Having a beauty pageant that has zero to do with beauty is so 2018. Should just change it to Miss Social Justice.
Oh, that's good.
That's a good point. How about these? How about objectifying young brainiacs in the spelling bee? They were given high IQs, and that's their gift. Some women are given the gift of beauty. People like to see and appreciate beauty. Generally, it's unattractive people who want it banned. Professional athletes are being objectified. We want to watch them in awe of their physical talent. Why can't physical beauty be celebrated too? I celebrate my physical beauty every day.
And you're beautiful on the inside.
Thank you so much.
I can't even say that with a straight face. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Somebody who appreciates beauty, Bill Clinton, clarifies his Today interview yesterday at 8:38.
And did Monica Lewinsky ever really want an apology to begin with? But let's go into the newsroom first and say hello to a beautiful man who uses big words. Here's Mike Scott.
Beautiful on the inside. 64 degrees. We have cloudy skies right now. Prosecutors in the Russia investigation say former Trump campaign manager Paul Manafort apparently tried to tamper with possible witnesses in the criminal case against him. Meantime, the president is pulling an invitation to the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. In a statement, Trump says the full team is unable to come to the White House as planned later today. 8 states are holding primaries. Voters will cast ballots in California, Alabama, Iowa, Mississippi, Montana, New Jersey, New Mexico, and South Dakota. U.S. Supreme Court rules in favor of a Colorado baker who refused to place a personal message on a wedding cake he was preparing for a gay couple. Kristen Wagner of the Alliance for Defending Freedom represented Jack Phillips before the Supreme Court. She says the justices made the right call.
This process was openly hostile to Jack because of his religious viewpoint, and that in and of itself was enough to render it unconstitutional under the Free Exercise Clause.
In the 7-2 ruling, the Supreme Court determined the process in which the commission made their decision against the baker was biased and unconstitutional. Monsanto getting out of the agriculture and chemical business. Well, at least the name is. Monsanto is being acquired officially by German health products giant Bayer. Bayer announcing yesterday that by Thursday it will drop the Monsanto name when it takes over the St. Louis-based agrochemical giant. One man is dead, 2 others hospitalized after they were shot on Chicago's west side. Fire crews are battling an apparent apartment blaze on Chicago's north side, mopping up there in the 1700 block of West Touhy. So far, CFD says 1 woman died in that fire. Another resident was critically hurt. Cubs and Phillies open up a 3-game series at Wrigley tonight. White Sox start a 4-game set against the Twins with a twilight doubleheader at Target Field. The news service of Accountemps, finding highly skilled accounting and finance professionals can be a challenge. Accountemps can help with Accountemps' extensive network of accounting and finance contractors. You can be sure to find the right person for your exact hiring needs. Visit Accountemps.com to learn more. Accountemps, a Robert Half company. 8:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher believes there's lots of layers to the canceling of Roseanne.
I'm angry at her for the stupidity of this tweet. I'm angry but not surprised at the pathetic attempt to link a Roseanne tweet to President Trump. It shouldn't be unexpected. They jumped on that bandwagon over at CNN in a heartbeat.
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Pursue your passion with a degree from Aurora University Online. Choose fully online programs in business, computer science, and more. To learn more, visit online.aurora.edu.
Dan Proft here with Ryan Kelly. He's the home loan expert, homeloanexpert.com. And Ryan, we know your business is getting people homes, refis, but what do you do when you're not doing that?
I guess that answer depends on if my wife is listening.
Yeah, right. There you go.
And I mean that in a way that, as a business owner, I struggle. I walk a fine line between running my business and working hard for my clients to get them great mortgages and spending enough time with the family, And as my wife and I have been married 10 years, we have 3 kids. And as you know, it takes a lot of time to be around the kids and do everything to be a good father and a good husband. So when I'm not at the office working on mortgages, I'm just like everybody else. I like to go to sporting events. I like to have people over for barbecues and really big into giving back. Giving back means a ton to me, my family, and the company. Refinancing or buying a house, don't get abused by those other lenders. Apply online today at thehomeloanexpert.com. Thanks, Dan. The Home Loan Expert, LLC.
Nowadays, there's an app for everything. And here's one that's a must-have if you golf. It's the Bolingbrook Golf Club mobile app, and it'll enhance your golf experience. You can book tee times at Bolingbrook Golf Club. There's an interactive scorecard, golf games, a GPS, latest news from the club, even a food and beverage menu, Facebook sharing, and more. Just about everything you need for your golf game besides the clubs is in the palm of your hand with the new Bolingbrook Golf Club mobile app. Go to BolingbrookGolfClub.com/contact/download our app. BolingbrookGolfClub.com/contact/download our app. And download today.
Have a young golf enthusiast? Keep them busy this summer with the 2018 Rubito Golf Academy Junior Golf Program at Bolingbrook Golf Club. It's a great chance for youngsters to learn golf fundamentals and get warmed up for the golf season by the professional teaching staff at Bolingbrook Golf Club. There are special programs divided into age groups, and sessions are still available but going fast. Get more info at BolingbrookGolfClub.com and click on driving range, then junior golf.
It is 8:36. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. And in for Jim, here's Al.
Thanks, Mike. On 8094 eastbound at Klein, we've still got ramp restrictions. The rolled over dump truck is blocking the left lane of the exit ramp, so use some care there. The Edens inbound, no delays. Outbound, though, slow in a couple of spots. 34 from Montrose to Lake Cook. Kennedy inbound got really jammed. It's about an hour 35 in from O'Hare to downtown. A big part of the problem is a crash on the outbound Ike just past the Burns Circle, so that's backing the Kennedy up. And Kennedy outbound 46 to O'Hare. The Eisenhower in, that's an hour 6 to the post office, and 42 out. This accident is between Wells and Morgan, and it's blocking the right lane. Stevenson in, that's an hour 10, 41 back out to 355. and Dan Ryan in 44 to downtown. Outbound, no delays at all. 57 inbound is heavy from 107th to the Ryan. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Al Verdi on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Could be a morning shower or two hanging around, otherwise breezy, cooler, and clouds will break for some sunshine. It is getting very chilly. It's 52 right now in Waukegan as a cold front moves through there. It is 59 along the lakefront, 66 degrees at O'Hare. Your next news update is at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas, best beans, best roast, best coffee.
If you're talking about it, I'll be talking about it. Dennis Prager here. Join me this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Bill Clinton yesterday on the Today Show got a little bitchy with one of the Today Show hosts.
I think he just got a little hot under the collar. He was blindsided by this question. That's
right,
what he seemed. And he didn't have an answer.
Never had the question before about Monica Lewinsky.
Well, it's been
Where did this come from?
20 years.
He should have be totally practiced at lying about it by this stage. I mean, he's done it for 20 years, is your point. So I don't know why he was caught off kilter so much. But anyway, Clinton's out promoting a novel he co-wrote with James Patterson, The President is Missing, and on the Today Show with him. And then he gets asked about his past exploits in the context of the Me Too movement. By the way, he just had to answer these questions for an entire presidential campaign 2 years ago.
I don't like all this. I couldn't be elected to anything now because I just don't like embarrassing people. My mother would have. So a lot of the facts have been conveniently omitted to make the story work. But I think partly because they're frustrated that they got all these serious allegations against the current occupant of the Oval Office, and his voters don't seem to care. I think I did the right thing. I defended the Constitution.
You think this president's been given a pass with regards to the women who have come forward and accused him of sexual misconduct?
Oh, well, I think that, no. No, I felt terrible then. And I came to grips with it.
Did you ever apologize to him?
Yes, and nobody believes that I got out of that for free. I left the White House $16 million in debt.
Couldn't pay his mortgage.
But you typically have ignored gaping facts in describing this, and I bet you don't even know them. This was litigated 20 years ago. 2/3 of the American people sided with me. They were not insensitive to that. I had a sexual harassment policy when I was governor in the 80s. I had 2 women chiefs of staff when I was governor. Women were overrepresented in the Attorney General's office in the 70s for their percentage in the bar. I've had nothing but women leaders in my office since I left. You are giving one side and omitting facts.
Mr. President, I'm not trying to present a side.
You asked me if I agreed. The answer is no, I don't.
And I asked if you'd ever apologized, and you said you had.
I have.
You've apologized to her.
I apologize to everybody in the world.
But then he went on to say, well, what kind of apology? Was it a face-to-face?
But you didn't apologize to her.
I have not talked to her.
Oh, well.
Do you feel like you owe her an apology?
No, I do. I do not. I've never talked to her. But I did say publicly on more than one occasion that I was sorry. That's very different. The apology was public.
And you don't think a private apology is owed?
I think this thing it's 20 years ago. Come on. Let's talk about JFK. Let's talk about...
No, let's not. We're talking about Bill Clinton. And we're still talking about him yesterday after his Today Show appearance where he got a little agitated. He made another stop with James Patterson in New York to promote the book, and he addressed the interview.
The truth is, the hubbub was I got hot under the collar because of the way the questions were asked. And I think what was lost are the 2 points that I made that are important to me. The suggestion was that I'd never apologized for what caused all the trouble for me 20 years ago. So the first point is, I did. I meant it then and I meant it now. I apologize to my family, to Monica Lewinsky and her family, and to the American people before a panel of ministers in the White House.
Panel of ministers in the White House. That's the, wait
That's
for
awesome.
it. I assembled a panel of ministers, and I apologize quietly to them. Also, it doesn't address the issue, and Megyn Kelly and others have brought this up, to their credit, of the rape allegations that have been lodged against Bill Clinton by Juanita Broaddrick. It doesn't address, and it wasn't asked, the settlement that the president consummated with Paula Jones. So, yeah, there are some questions to ask if you want to wrap yourself in the Me Too movement and also decide to sit in judgment of President Trump as well. But it's interesting, Clinton's reemergence now that he's hawking a book. Something else is relevant here because he's obviously comparing his impeachment proceeding, a tribulation, with what President Trump may be facing or should be facing in his estimation. And so what's dominated the last couple of days is, can the president pardon himself? Not that he needs to, because there's no allegation he's done anything wrong, at least no evidence to support an allegation that he's done anything wrong. But can the president pardon himself? And President Trump has said he can. Rudy Giuliani said he can. And
he can, right? But he just shouldn't talk about it.
Well, he arguably can. The idea is that I can do that, but it's an irrelevant question because there's no need for me to do anything because I've done nothing wrong, so there will be nothing for me to pardon. That, I think, is sort of better messaging than what we've been getting from Rudy Giuliani for the last couple of days. But, it's funny because the D.C. press corps is in a twist over this idea the president could pardon himself in this conversation that they want to foment. A Slate article from 1998, Slate, left-wing mag, can President Clinton pardon himself?
Oh. The
simplest interpretation of Article 2, pardon power, president. The simplest interpretation is the president can pardon any federal criminal offense, including his own, but cannot pardon an impeachment. In other words, Clinton is free to immunize himself from criminal prosecution, but has no power over Congress. Yeah, right. Right. Pardon except in cases of impeachment. Andy McCarthy has written about this as well, former federal prosecutor. He says, yes, the president can pardon himself. There's no question about this. He notes that President Ford pardoned Nixon, even though he had not been indicted. President Lincoln mass pardoned Confederate soldiers and sympathizers. President Carter mass pardoned Vietnam draft evaders. Thus, the fact that Special Counsel Mueller has not, may never file criminal charges would not prevent President Trump from issuing pardons, including for himself. Yes. A pardon is judicially unreviewable act of executive discretion. McCarthy writes, I think of it as an iteration of prosecutorial discretion, which is the judicially unreviewable executive decision whether to charge someone with a crime. It is a sweeping presidential authority. The only exceptions of it are obvious from the Constitution's Pardon Clause, Article 2, Section 2, which limits pardons to offenses against the United States. That is, the president may only pardon offenses that have already occurred. He cannot grant a prospective get-out-of-jail-free card for future crimes. And then, of course, the president may not pardon state offenses that are outside his jurisdiction over federal law enforcement. So that's the argument, the sum total of it. But with the reintroduction of Bill Clinton yet again, they never go away, and not just on the matter of respective treatment of women, but also on the underlying issue of the prospect of impeachment, the move to impeachment, and then this discussion over the last 2 days about the president's pardon power. Let's set it clear. So while the president's legal team, Rudy Giuliani specifically, may be guilty of poor communication on the topic, and I think he is, no one is saying that the president is above the law, and Sarah Sanders made that explicit yesterday.
Sarah, let me ask you if I can. Does the president believe that he is above the law?
Certainly not. The president hasn't done anything wrong.
The question isn't if he's done anything wrong. I guess the question is, does the president believe the framers envisioned a system where the president couldn't pardon himself, where the president could be above the law.
Certainly the Constitution very clearly lays out the law, and once again, the president hasn't done anything wrong, and we feel very comfortable in that front.
I know, but you just a moment ago said it's not that clear. So I guess simply put, does the president believe he is above the law?
Certainly no one is above the law. Vivian, go ahead.
If I can't follow, just because I
Sorry, no, I'm going to keep going right here.
Yeah, now we're done. And so you've got 3 bites at the apple. That's plenty. So the president believing he's above the law and the president believing he has the power to pardon himself are not synonymous. The Constitution pretty clearly provides the president with such authority. It's broad authority. That doesn't mean that we should believe the president is above the law, and it doesn't necessarily insulate the president from prosecution either for crimes committed. Just to make those distinctions that are lost in the D.C. press corps. Margot in Burr Ridge, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi. Getting back to Bill Clinton, this is not a legal question. What the reason the whole thing with Monica Lewinsky points up to what an evil man he is because she gave him her heart. All these other women, the Jennifer Flowers, they were into sports sex. The current Energizer Bunny, same thing. Paula Jones, Juanita Broderick, and Kathleen Willey. They've all been recognized, and they all spoke up. And she's different because he had nothing to offer her. She offered her heart, and he had nothing to offer. She was just another sports sex thing for him. And he took her future. She has no respect the world over. She's infamous for what she did with him. He has wealth. She has none. He has a child. She'll have none. He has grandchildren. None for her. He destroyed her entire life, and for a few afternoons of fun or a few moments of fun. Mm-hmm. And he is a truly evil man, and that escapade of his with Monica Lewinsky points that out.
All right. Thanks for the call, Margot.
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper. Hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Wasn't Sports Sex your Joan Jett cover band in high school?
Who knew? Oh my gosh, President Trump just tweeted about John Cox again. Oh my gosh. Okay. I know he's primary day. Vote for John Cox for governor. He will make a big difference. Today, some morning showers, they are passing through here, and we're going to have some breezy conditions, cool conditions, clouds, maybe some sun, a high of 65. Tonight, clear, low of 51 degrees, so open up those windows. And for tomorrow, Wednesday, warm with a blend of sun and clouds, a high of 78 degrees. Let's get into the alarm detections. Traffic Center, Al Verde, in for Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy. Dan, on 8094 eastbound at Klein, we're still dealing with this rolled over dump truck. It's blocking the left lane of the exit ramp, but at least the ramp is open again, so use some caution there. Eden's outbound, no delays, but it's 32 to get back out. It's heavy outbound between Montrose and Tower Road. Kennedy inbound is really jammed up. It's an hour and a half in from O'Hare to downtown. Big part of this problem is an accident actually on the outbound Ike, and that's past the burn, so it's about an hour and a half in, an hour 15 just from Montrose, and express lanes are inbound. They'll save you about 15 minutes, but it's still 58 minutes in those. And then on the Eisenhower, the accident's before Morgan. It's got the right lane blocked. Other than that, Stevenson inbound an hour 7, 37 back out, and Dan Ryan in is 41 to downtown. I'm Al Verde in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Earnings vary based on your effort. Message and data rates may apply. Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses right here in Chicago? If so, we have an amazing opportunity for you. We're looking for a small group of motivated individuals to join our real estate investing team. You'll learn our simple 3-step system for flipping homes right here in the local area. This is Than Merrill, star of A&E's hit TV show Flip This House. My team and I are looking for a handful of people in the Chicago area who want to learn how to make money flipping houses in your spare time using other people's money. Chicago is a perfect market for my system, and next week I'm holding a free 2-hour educational workshop where you will learn how to make money flipping homes and how to build long-term wealth with income properties.
To get 2 free tickets to Than's workshop, text your 5-digit zip code to 82,000. Seating is extremely limited, so text your 5-digit zip code to 82,000. Text in the next 10 minutes, and you'll also reserve a free copy of Than's Money for Deals Guide. Just text your zip code to 82,000.
On AM 560 The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to focus in and talk about the big ideas behind the important issues. Enter Upstream Ideas online at upstream-ideas.com. Upstream Ideas, in partnership with the Illinois Opportunity Project, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted beliefs. Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now at upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to help encourage you to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit freer, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I went to have my blood test done a few weeks ago, and I met the doctor, and he was really encouraged by my progress, and I showed him what I was taking, and he started looking at all the ingredients, and he said, I'm really impressed with the shiitake mushroom. And he said, this stuff, it could clean out your arteries. And I'm like, oh, wow. He said, you may be onto something here. And he said, you just keep that up, and maybe you can start cutting back on your medication. And he says, you're helping your health by doing that. And I'm like, whoa, endorsement by the doctor.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
For more than a half century, Mueller CPA and Financial Advisory has provided audit, tax, outsourced accounting, business consulting, and financial advisory services to Chicagoland companies. Mueller provides customized financial guidance to a client base that includes independent business owners, startups, local government, and nonprofits. I'm with Dave Nissen, Mueller Managing Partner.
Thanks, Dan. Mueller values being part of the community for the last 50 years, meeting our clients' financial service needs. A major component of meeting those needs is our professionals' superb knowledge and their ability to deliver timely and quality solutions to meet our clients' challenges. Whether you're interested in tax minimization strategies, looking to expand your business, or need assistance with business planning, our team can help. Our goal is your company's financial success today and over a lifetime.
For questions about how the recent legislative changes can specifically affect your business or how to effectively plan for these changes, call Dave Nissen at 847-888-8600 or visit MuellerCPA.com. That's Mueller, M-U-E-L-L-E-R, CPA.com.
Nowadays, there's an app for everything, and here's one that's a must-have if you golf. It's the Bolingbrook Golf Club mobile app, and it'll enhance your golf experience. You can book tee times at Bolingbrook Golf Club. There's an interactive scorecard, golf games, a GPS, latest news from the club, even a food and beverage menu, Facebook sharing, and more. Just about everything you need for your golf game besides the clubs is in the palm of your hand with the new Bolingbrook Golf Club mobile app. Go to BolingbrookGolfClub.com/contact/download our app. BolingbrookGolfClub.com/contact/download our app. And download today.
Are you ready to take your golf game to the elite level? The Bolingbrook Elite Athlete Training Program, or BEAT, is the highest level of training designed to maximize potential and develop highly skilled players. You'll learn from the Bolingbrook Golf Club's world-class instructors. They've designed practice schedules and content to maximize player development. For the athlete that aspires to compete and train at the highest levels, check out BEAT, Bolingbrook Elite Athlete Training. More info at BolingbrookGolfClub.com.
Hey guys, Ken here from the Business Accelerator podcast, Today's Growth. If you had to choose a vehicle to take you up the rocky side of a mountain, would you choose a Ferrari or a Jeep? The Ferrari's faster, cooler, maybe even sexier, but if you have to get to the top, the Jeep's a better bet. I think we can agree getting to the top is not about the driver, it's the vehicle. Have you noticed people often pick their financial vehicle like they pick their cars? Washington Post shared that only 1 out of 4 people choose a job that uses their college degree. Why? Simple. Something more immediate, maybe cooler, maybe even sexier came along first. Shouldn't the main deciding factors for revenue generation be production or output? Should the cool factor have any weight in choosing someone's income? If getting to the top of the financial mountain is mission critical for you, why not add a few Jeeps to your garage? Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that makes it to the top every time? If so, you have to see the Jeeps lined up at IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
Are you buying or selling a business or starting a business? Maybe you have legal problems with a business partner or employees, or are just drowning in new regulations. You need the support of a law firm that concentrates in a wide range of business law and tax matters. You need the corporate team at Kelleher & Buckley. Whether you're a local mom and pop shop, middle market business, or a large corporation or franchise, they provide cost-effective legal solutions to help your businesses thrive. The lawyers of Kelleher & Buckley focus on targeted legal advice tailored to meet the specific needs of your business. You deserve competent legal representation from a law firm maintaining a high level of knowledge about the ever-changing laws governing businesses. One that also includes accountants and tax specialists on board to provide your business bottom-line solutions. Kelleher & Buckley, LLC of North Barrington and Chicago is a legal solution provider that also includes estate planning, asset protection, life insurance planning, and litigation. Keep your business on track. Call 847-382-9130 or online at KelleherBuckley.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Hey, how about this? The Parkland High School students that want to take your guns are coming to Chicago.
Oh.
June 16th.
Are they going to be on stage with Stormy Daniels? Because she'll be here that week.
I'm surprised they're not going to be at that cult that you call a church. But no, they're coming to Naperville June 16th at the DuPage Unitarian, of course, Universalist Church. Oh, yeah. Reflects the church commitment to reducing gun violence. You know, the Unitarians in DuPage there. 6 p.m. June 16th, the Parkland kids.
All right. Thanks so much for making us part of your morning. Thank you to Justin Kosick, our technical director, who's trying to help me figure out the Instagram. Thanks to Quinn McCarthy and Keith Conrad, who's helping me tweet and figure out PayPal. We're back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. Now, without further ado, let's get into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
1 killed, 2 wounded in a West Side shooting, and a deadly fire breaks out on Chicago's North Side. White Sox and Twins are playing 2 today, while the Cubs host the Phillies. Morning shower is given way to partly sunny skies. WIND Chicago News Time, 9 o'clock.